It is our mission to embrace the ideal that our show shall always strive to belittle the stupid and to play an occasional song. We shall also strive to take all of your requests, but to never, under any circumstances, play those requests. It is our mission to offend as many people as we can in the shortest time possible. We shall always remember that no matter how pointless and stupid the things we say are, we shall present them in such a way that they will be lessons that will last a lifetime. We shall strive always to do nothing and to be mean. We shall strive mightily to always be the #1 morning show in Salt Lake, or, if not that, the #2 morning show, or at least somewhere in the top 15 or 20 morning shows. At least once a year, we shall go to someone's home, and we shall eat really good food, and we'll make you wish that you could be there to share it with us. And finally, it is our mission to always remind the listeners that we never lie, and we're always right.
If you take all those pieces and put them together...
One big, beautiful mission statement?
Yep. But of course, before we get to the mission statement, we have to answer one question.
I just want to know what the hell is a mission statement?
All right, and Tom poses a very valid question.
We still don't know, really.
Well, businesses, it seems like especially in the past 5 years, it's kind of trendy to have a mission statement. They go to these seminars, and the guys up there at the seminars tell them that unless they have a mission statement, you don't know what you're doing. Now, we found this. Julie and Tommy Frost explain the mission statement. If you're in a business, you should have a mission statement as a sort of compass, a tool to lead you in the right direction, a reminder of who you are and where you come from. It's not just for you, but your customers as well. So...
we've been just wandering aimlessly for good 15 years.
Doing mornings for like 10, 15 years, and we've never really known what we're doing, apparently.
I think this defines it.
So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. You have submitted sentences in this, helped us write it. Here it is, the Radio from Hell mission statement.
It is our mission to embrace the ideal that our show shall always strive to belittle the stupid and to play an occasional song. We shall also strive to take all of your requests, but to never, under any circumstances, play those requests. It is our mission to offend as many people as we can in the shortest time possible. We shall always remember that no matter how pointless and stupid the things we say are, we shall present them in such a way that they will be lessons that will last a lifetime. We shall strive always to do nothing and to be mean. We shall strive mightily to always be the #1 morning show in Salt Lake, or, if not that, the #2 morning show, or at least somewhere in the top 15 or 20 morning shows. At least once a year, we shall go to someone's home, and we shall eat really good food, and we'll make you wish that you could be there to share it with us. And finally, it is our mission to always remind the listeners that we never lie, and we're always right. So let it be written, so let it be done.
It's kind of negative.
I don't know.
What do you mean?
What, shouldn't a mission statement be kind of, positive? And
I thought it sounded very positive.
Yeah, with that music and everything. Really
we're
powerful.
Not really doing anything good. We're not helping humanity.
Oh, I left one out. Hit it.
What?
I left one out.
Okay.
And we'll try to find a cure for cancer.
All right.
How's that?
Oh, I feel better
Okay.
now.
Is that better?
Yeah.
There we go.
That make
All
you
right.
feel a little bit
Yeah,
better
I feel
now?
better.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
X96. Of misfits and dope addicts.
Oh, yeah.
I screwed that one.
That's okay. That's all right. That's
until the end. It was a great mix. It was the Syrian mix.
You should pretend you meant to do that.
I meant to do that.
So, okay. Well, all right. On this.
Actually, it was yesterday.
So on this. Day,
on this yesterday.
Okay. or this day yesterday. Or?
Yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
1985.
Yeah.
Smiths released How Soon Is Now.
That plays into a list I have coming up later of artists that have never won a Grammy. Morrissey never won a Grammy.
Well, thanks for giving it all away.
Well, there's more on the list.
When you going to do that?
That's a preview.
When are you going to talk about that fascinating topic? When are we going to do it?
Why are you being rude?
Just when are we doing it?
About 9:30 or so.
Oh, what 30?
9.
9:30.
You got to listen to the whole show to get the rest of the list.
All right, those of you who are listening now, make sure you tune back in at 9:30 for this important list of people who never won Grammys.
Or just stick with us the whole time.
It's not going to happen.
There are people that do.
I know, but some shut-ins. There are some shut-ins, some people who are immobilized, people who can't move without help from others. Yeah. There are people out there that they're immobilized, and to torture them, they turn on the radio, put it next to them.
Just close enough that they can't reach it,
right?
but that they can
put
hear
it next to them, Radio from Hell show, and then they leave the room. This is what you get for 4 hours.
They're stealing my medicine and making me listen.
Oh.
So what I got from that song too is, it's what a great album title. How Soon Is Now. And then that song, I'm listening to it, and it just sounds so unique.
There's nothing like that.
Yeah, it's just
its
an
own
exceptionally unique song. But I kept thinking, as I'm listening to Morrissey sing, you got a problem if you have to keep reminding people that you're human. I'm human!
Well, it's up for
I
debate
need to be
with
loved. Apparently it is. Morrissey.
You go home and you cry and you want to die. Great first thing in the morning.
So they don't.
Well, it's Monday.
It's a proven fact that they don't give Grammys to people who mope. They
That's
just don't.
true.
So anyway, we got to get the show started, and I got to get started somehow. It's one of those days where I can't get going.
You need a kick in the ass.
I need something to motivate me, to keep me get me going.
How about a carrot on a stick?
Well, I'm just.
If
wondering,
I hold it over here, no.
I like carrots, but not that much. So 877-602-9696 is the number you would call to check in to the Radio from Hell show. We'd like you to do that. And tell us, please, if you have one of those mornings, and we all have them, where you just can't get going.
What gets you going?
What do you do to get yourself going? How do you motivate yourself? What do you do? Or do you just hope for inspiration, or what happens? 877-602-9696. Tell us what you're doing today. Check in with the Radio from Hell show.
All that.
No prize for that, right? No prize?
Nothing. Do we have prize for checking?
No.
You get to be on the radio. Show me another radio station in town where this time of day you could call and be on the radio. That's a prize.
And help one of the hosts of the show.
Yes.
Come on. 877-602-9696.
Ranlife.com is the website.
Yes, Ranlife, our good friend.
People think of the content as just over the airwaves, but we do so much more now. We're producing videos daily that we need scripts for. We produce concerts on a weekly basis that we need day logs for. If it wasn't for the help of the people at Valley Office System, our job would be near impossible to do. One of the things I love about Valley Office Systems is they're a joy to work with. Honestly, we are a 24-hour business. We rarely have an issue, but when we do, we let them know, and they're out here just as quickly as possible. Honestly, their service is second to none.
Yes. May I help you?
Carrie Jackson and Bill Allred here to see Mr. Acme?
Carrie Jackson and Bill Allred? And this is regarding...
Well, we work for Mr. Acme, and he wanted to see us today.
I see. And you work for him in which one of his businesses?
Radio. You know, we do a morning radio show at his radio station.
Oh, yes. Mr. Acme is involved with some little broadcast facility somewhere, isn't he? Let me call him. He's having his daily rub-down right now. Mr. Acme?
What the hell do you want? You know I don't like to be disturbed when Gregor is giving me my rub-down. Ouch! Damn it! I told you that my coccyx is sore, Gregor! I'm calling the doctor. Don't rub me so hard there! Jesus. Now what the hell do you want?
I'm sorry, Mr. Acme, but there are 2 radio people out here to see you. What were your names again?
Carrie and Bill. Bill?
Is that Allred and Jackson out there? God, I forgot. It's salary time again. Okay, tell them to have a seat. We're just about finished here. Damn it, Gregor! Don't push so hard on that! Oh, I'm sore everywhere that my belt rubs.
Have a seat, gentlemen. Mr. Acme will be right with you.
Oh, great. Acme's got some sore muscles, and we're here to talk about raises. What great timing.
Oh, he's always in a bad mood or sore or something anyway. I don't see where one day is any better than another when it comes to talking about money. For hell's sakes, Gary. I mean, last year during our job evaluation meeting, he jumped across the restaurant table and jabbed the dinner fork into my upper thigh. I bled like a pig.
I remember. He must have stuck that thing in about 3 inches.
Yeah, thanks for closing me up. I don't know if I've ever told you enough how grateful I was.
Oh, don't worry about it. It was nothing. I was just glad I had that little staple gun in my backpack.
I'm nervous. I mean, I'm just not very good at this asking for a raise thing.
Remember, we got to be tough. We got to stand our ground. I mean, sure, we're asking for a lot, but you know, we work hard at the radio station. I don't think that 15 every 2 weeks is too much to ask.
But Carrie, 15 every 2 weeks adds up to $30 a month. I'm telling you, it's too much. He'll never go for it.
You know, I think you're right. We gotta get out of here. Oh, okay. Here's what we do.
What?
I'll pretend that I'm sick, and then you pretend to rush me to the hospital, okay?
Okay.
Ma'am, will you tell Mr. Acme we'll be back some other time? I've got to rush my partner to the hospital. I think it's his ovaries or something. His uvula or something. You're going to be okay.
877-602-9696 or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
Yes.
Looks as though no one is interested in helping a guy out.
That's fine. I could go home.
Nobody wants to help a guy out.
I told them to be selfish. You get to have your voice on the radio.
877-602-9696 is the number to check in. Tell us, what you're doing, what's going on with you today. And if you can, please offer a little bit of advice to me. I can't seem to get started this morning. When you have a morning like that, how do you get started? How do you kickstart
Maybe
yourself?
Everybody's having that morning, Bill.
Maybe
nobody can get it going. Let's start the show, brought to you by Dr. Volt's Comic Connection. This month, check out the thrilling issue Invincible, End of All Things. Exciting superhero action carries nodding while I'm reading this by The Walking Dead's Robert Kirkman and Utah's own Ryan Otley.
Yes.
Maybe something's wrong with the phone. 877-602-9696. Nobody cares anymore.
Here, I'll call.
Well,
all right. The moon.
Do the official
starting.
Official
beginning of the show.
Because the moon looked great this morning.
I didn't see it. See, that's another problem. I know it's 94.0% of full, and it's going to be full on the 30th, which is just a couple of days, or 31st.
The 31st will be the super blue blood full moon.
Yeah.
The last time this happened was 150 years ago.
Really not a blue moon, as we explained last week, but
I think we are having phone problems.
You're calling in
because Nick says it's not ringing.
Oh, line 3 is ringing. Is that you, Gina?
Now?
Let's see if that's Gina.
It's not Gina.
No, it's not Gina. Well, anyway, the moon will rise today at 3:53 p.m. Excuse me. Yeah, rise. All right. Today being Monday, it's the 29th day of January in the year of our Lord, 2018, and this is North America's most engaging radio broadcast. It's the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson. I'm Bill Allred. Gina Barberi, did you get through on the phone?
You'll find out.
Okay, we'll find out. All right, Gina so she did. The senior executive producer of the Radio from Hell show and lady in waiting is Richard Stedman, who is vacationing in Hawaii right now with a very nice woman that he does not deserve. Let's see. Dylan Allred is producing video for the show. You can see us at x96.com/live. And Nick's your buddy. Nick's your pal is helping out with the show today. Oh, it is National Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day.
Ooh.
It's also National Puzzle Day. So if you like puzzles, I really kind of hate puzzles. They're just sort of.
Well, what kind of puzzle?
It's any kind.
Is it like a jigsaw puzzle?
Any kind of puzzle. Puzzles of all sizes, shapes, and forms. Crossword puzzles, jigsaw puzzles.
Jigsaw puzzles, I get easily bored with. No,
yeah.
Don't like those.
I don't understand that either. How people, they'll get those like 10,000 piece sets, and they'll spend days on a card table doing it. I guess it's relaxing to them.
I suppose.
And it's also National Corn Chip Day.
Oh,
which
okay.
I can get behind.
I can get that.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Well, let's begin. Manny, the bus driver, is checking.
Manny.
Hey.
Manny, how are you this morning?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Well, I can't get started. I can't get going. What sort of a bus do you drive?
I work for UTA. I drive the public bus.
So you're hauling those big old buses around the city streets, which I find remarkable. Do you work early in the morning? Are you at work now?
I'm headed to work right now, and I work all day long.
So you're driving a bus, but you have one of those days where you just can't get going. You can't get started. You can't get your mind engaged. You have to do that to drive the bus. What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
You know, Bill, as cheesy as it sounds, you just got to think of your family, man.
Think of your family?
Think of your family, because you're providing for your
family.
Well, I just don't care for them. So.
Well, I mean, you're screwed, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I have to provide for them. I guess that doesn't mean I have to like them, though, does it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right,
Manny. Thanks for checking in with us. Check in again sometime. I want to ask you where you drive your bus, but we got to go now.
All right, thanks for having me.
See ya.
All right, there we go. Gina.
This is very exciting to be on the Radio from Hell show.
Well, it'd be a real switch if you're actually participating in some positive way.
I'm surprised we've never tried this before, actually checking in on the show. It's kind of fun.
Well, Gina, how do you get motivated in the morning? Bill's having trouble getting it together. How do you?
This isn't helping. It's not.
No,
it's not.
Should I just come in there and?
If you came in here and started interrupting me, it'd probably make me mad and get my adrenaline going somehow.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be right there.
All right. God bless you, Gina. We love you.
All right. This is Krista. Krista checking.
Hi, Krista.
Good morning.
Krista, what's up with you today?
Just headed to work downtown Salt Lake.
What sort of work do you do, my dear?
I work for a private security company, taking care of the property and the employees at the building.
So you're not a security guard yourself, are you?
Well, I am.
You are?
Yes, I'm the one who would have to tackle the person if that would arise.
Are you an armed security guard?
I am, yes.
Yeah, so and it used to be that security guards were almost never armed, and now you see more and more of them packing guns.
Unfortunately, it's quite necessary nowadays.
Do you have some of those zip ties to handcuff them if you need to?
I have actual handcuffs, but sometimes I wish I did have those. I think it would be easier.
Now, Krista, my guess is, though, now you work sort of by yourself patrolling stuff, right? You're just on your own.
Sometimes. Where I work, luckily, there's more than one of us, so we can have some backup.
Okay, good. Because I just don't want to think of you having to, engage with some awful person. You deserve better than
Bill's
that.
worried about you.
I am. I'm worried about
Thank
you.
you, Bill. I appreciate that.
All right.
I'm lucky. I'm not getting insults from you. I'm getting sweet comments. Thank you.
Well, and I'm saying that because I know you have a gun.
All right.
All right. See you later, Krista.
Bye-bye, Krista.
Bye.
Have a good day.
All right. Let's see. Kilroy checking in. Tana checking in. Tried calling. Nobody answered. Phone just rang.
Okay, Nick, you're fired.
He was talking to somebody else.
All right. Tyler, the trash man, checking in. When I have a hard day getting going, I drink a latte with 6 shots.
6 shots?
Boy.
Metal Shop Mark saying 5-hour energy always has.
Gary, you still do the 5-hour energy. No, you stopped?
I stopped.
You used to do that every
I saw
morning.
you do one when you got back from your trip.
I used to do one every day.
Oh.
And now I just do it when I absolutely have to.
I don't think they don't seem to do much to me. I don't know why that is.
Dock worker Mike checking in. Jonathan driving to work. Gina's silky voice gets me going.
That's what I'm here for.
Silky. Yeah, did you hear that? Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Ogden shut in, checking in, being forced to listen to Radio from Hell for 4 hours because he's a shut-in.
Yeah. You like my voice, do you, Mac?
It's really silky.
Teacher Emily checking in. Meg the manager. Brady checking in. Well, I guess we ought to get going then.
Do we okay. Well, is there anything we specifically have to do today, or can we just...
Well, we got news next, and sports with Amy Donaldson.
Oh, coming up in sports,
okay.
we've got U of U Gymnastics tickets to give away. That's a reason to listen.
All right, so that's coming up. Stand by for that. First, we're going to tell you about 0 fatalities.
Yeah, distracted driving is awful, and I have done it on occasion.
Well, I was thinking about it this morning because I was looking at the moon and just going, wow, look at that. And then I realized I'm turning, and I shouldn't be looking at the moon while I'm turning.
Yeah. What you need to do is go to the zerofatalities.com and join the resistance.
Now, what that means is you're pledging to be mindful of driving and not being distracted. And if you make that pledge, there's different levels you can pledge to, and you can get all kinds of swag, lots of stuff for your car, and everybody needs a blanket to keep in their car. There's that there. There's all kinds of stuff you can win.
So go to zerofatalities.com, find out ways to combat distracted driving. If you find yourself being a daydreamer driver or a texter or whatever, there are tips there for you to get away from that. So zerofatalities.com.
Oh, speaking of distracted driving.
Just a minor crash on 114th South exit ramp from northbound I-15. It's on the shoulder, not causing delays. I thought I saw someone talking about Hill Air Force Base. Yeah, stay away from the west gate at Hill Air Force Base. We're backed up about 8 blocks just to get to the gate. Thank you for sending that in.
That was 20 minutes ago, so it may have resolved itself.
Maybe, but be aware of it. And if you see anything like that, let us know. 33986.
All right, thank you very much. News is next.
John Smith kicks off a 1-hour non-stop music wingding at the conclusion of Radio from Hell on X96.
This is your old friend, the gravedigger. Today I have a frightening little yarn that has all the ingredients needed to make you shudder. Sex, violence, lawyers, and 3 exploding human heads. This tale is called There She Blows, and we'll take you now to the law offices of Parker, Jameson, and Osborne, attorneys at law.
Mr. Parker?
Mr. Osborne.
Parker, your fly is undone.
Oh? Oh, so it is. I was just having sex with my secretary.
But Mr. Parker, that is so wrong. You're a married man.
I'm aware of that, Osborne, and I don't care. As a matter of fact, I'm going back in for seconds.
Parker, your head is getting bigger. Oh my God! Look at all the blood!
What's all the racket in here?
Parker's head just exploded.
Good Lord, what a mess. Hey, what's Parker clutching in his still twitching hand?
That's the Bonneville specific file. He's been working overtime to make the board of directors look better in court. I believe he just finished it. Jameson, what are you doing?
Erasing Parker's name and putting mine on it. I'll take all the credit now that he's dead.
Now Jameson's head has exploded too. I'd better call for help. But first, I'm going to go through their wallets and steal all the money. They're not going to need it, and no one will ever know.
Those 3 really know how to get ahead, eh? Their law firm tried to expand too rapidly and suddenly went bust. Well, in case you hadn't figured out the moral of the story, it's if you're a lawyer and you do something bad, your head will explode. This is the old gravedigger inviting you to join me next time when our story will be called Chop Chop, Who's There? On Tales from the Grave.
X96.
All right, 6:33. Yeah, go ahead and call it that. Why not?
Okay.
Let's see. It's time for we got sports with Amy Donaldson coming up, and Ed hinted that she has some sort of announcement.
I don't know
to make. I don't know whether he's just messing around or what.
Well, he likes to mess around.
Yeah. But
he does the mess around.
He does. That's coming up. But first, big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
LASIK at Hoops Vision. Now this resolution is easy. Ask about 24 months, 0 interest, and their See Clearly guarantee. Schedule your free LASIK consultation today, 877-30-LASIK, or go to hoopsvision.com.
It's a funny late check-in here. I'll do as part of the news. It's in our, you can text us at 33986, or you can go in our chat room, which people do, and make comments in there. You can also see us live at x96.com/live, and that puts you in the chat room, if I understand it. Is that correct?
Yes.
If you're,
I believe,
if you're in the chat room, you're also you're a part of the live thing. But somebody says, is a pre-vet student Tyler here checking in? I tried calling, however, it just rang and rang and rang for a full minute. Nick.
He's talking to somebody else?
Yeah, it was probably his girlfriend. What should I wear today, Nick?
What should I wear
What should I wear today? Anyway, Tyler says, I'm working toward being a veterinarian, so whenever I drag in the morning, like you are, Bill, you're having a hard time getting started, I pull up videos of animals undergoing surgery to get myself pumped up for being thrown back into school. My advice is, number one, either think of your goal and find ways to work to achieve those goals to keep you excited, or two, watch animals undergoing surgery. So I think I'll take animals undergoing surgery.
No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't watch that.
You don't want to watch videos of Don Imus.
No. Your goal
is I
your
see.
Goal.
See, he's a veterinarian. You would watch videos of.
I see. Gotcha. I got you. I don't want to watch. Have you ever?
And I picked the most awful person to look at.
I was going to say, have you seen Don Imus?
On the radio?
Yeah.
But he has money, so
yes.
Lots
he's
of
got
it.
so much he's retiring.
Yeah. So
we're doing news now.
Yes, we are. Nicole Eggert, you know who that is.
She was on Charles in Charge and Baywatch.
Apparently Charles in Charge was on her.
Mm-hmm.
Actress Nicole Eggert took to Twitter this weekend to accuse her former Charles in Charge co-star and current friend of Donald Trump, Scott Baio.
He's a horrible person.
Of repeatedly molesting her when she was a minor. The pair starred together on the show Charles in Charge, which ran from 1984 till 1990, which was an entirely too long time for that show to be on the radio.
I never watched it.
I
never saw an episode.
I saw little bits of it here and there, but never watched it. Now, Judith Light?
No.
Who was the mom on that show?
Nobody.
Charles was in charge. See,
Mom went to work and left them all day.
So there was.
There was a mom, but not. I don't think it was.
Anyway, Eggert joined the cast during the show's second season, which began filming in '86 when Eggert was 14. It was then she alleged via Twitter that her inappropriate relationship with then 26-year-old Scott Baio began. So she was 14, he was 26.
Ew.
And there you go. Now, that age difference when people get older is not such a big thing.
When you're 14.
But when you're 14, it is. According to the tweets, the two maintained a sexual relationship for at least a few more years. Eggert described herself on Twitter as a molested child. Scott Baio's wife,
who's even more horrible than him,
also a horrible person, took to Twitter to claim that her legal team had served Nicole Eggert with multiple cease and desist letters over the years, including one that prevented her from sharing this story on an episode of Dr. Oz. So she's not saying that it's not true. She's saying,
you just shut up about it.
We have threatened her with legal action and told her to shut up and shut up and shut up, and she's not doing it. She is not an honorable person. Even though maybe what she's saying is true.
This Scott Baio's wife, may I remind you, she's the same person. I believe she won the Boehner. She should have if she didn't. For saying that the Sandy Hook parents, hopefully they learned a lesson.
Yeah. Yes.
They're murdered children. Hopefully the parents she's on my list.
Here's why Scott Baio is also an awful person. Nicole Eggert has gone on the record in the past saying that Scott Baio took her virginity. But Scott Baio insists that she as a 14-year-old, seduced him when she was 18, which would have made him 30. Any normal heterosexual red-blooded American guy would have had sex with her, he says.
He's horrible.
He's not helping his case, is he?
He's, no.
No. He just keeps talking.
Yeah. Let's see now. Utah spent $33 million on a pipeline application. This is for a pipeline to take water from
water we don't have.
Lake Powell. Well, there's water in there.
Well,
and put it to St. George and sell it to other cities. I think Las Vegas as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we spent $33 million doing this application, federal government application, but the state never quite finished the paperwork. This paperwork that they spent $33 million on to get and it's pages and pages of documents, but it was never quite finished.
What could go wrong?
But they submitted it to the federal government, who said this application really it's not finished. It's not complete. But you know what? It's okay.
Go ahead with it? They okayed it?
Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead with the pipeline. You haven't really finished all the required paperwork, but you know what? It's okay.
Oren's a friend of ours.
This is no big deal. Go ahead. Now, any environmentalist and most economists who have looked at this plan to pump the water via a big pipeline that they build, and it's not just a pipeline. It's not as easy as like, okay, we've made the pipeline, now open the spigot and the water will just gently flow.
No,
from
you got to pump it.
Lake
actually
Powell.
pump
There are
it?
pumping stations along the way. There are retention bases along. It's a big deal, and it's going to cost way more than the state estimate has claimed that it will.
How about
cost.
we just stop moving to the desert where there's no water?
That's what I would say. And they're saying, well, we've got to do it. More and more people are moving to St. George. And I would say put a limit on the number of people who move there. And
we have
then,
this much water, which means we can have this many people.
Now, in the past, Gina has said, well, you can't stop people from moving there. You have argued that. Yes, you can. You can make it so prohibitively expensive to move there that fewer people will want to do it. You know, with application fees and taxes and whatever. But the point being, this pipeline, this water, if it gets done, will end up being so expensive to the residents of St. George that then maybe people won't move.
They'll move.
Yeah, they'll move.
It's too expensive.
I don't. It's just. It's another example of the state of Utah saying, well, listen, we know better. We know better than anybody. The same thing happened if you were reading any kind of the editorials over the weekend about Representative Curtis, the new guy from Provo.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got this new big Bears Ears initiative, in a national park. And I've consulted with the native leaders about this, and they're happy with it. Well, so in the Salt Lake Tribune this weekend, the leaders of the Native American tribe said, he didn't consult with us. He's a liar. He cherry-picked some Native American citizens in that county to talk to about it, but he didn't talk to tribal leadership about this at all. He's a liar. Why does this continue to exasperate me? It shouldn't, should it? It really shouldn't exasperate.
No, it shouldn't. Not to this extent. No.
Because
it should peeve you.
I mean things like Utah leaders never disclosed that costing building the prison, moving the prison and moving it to a new site would cost about $860 million.
Oh,
they just never
did. We not mention that?
They just never said that.
I'm
really.
sorry. I just
it never came up.
We got excited. Yeah. There was going to be a new place. Yeah. We were decorating. We didn't.
And Wayne Niederhauser, the president of the Senate, is a big real estate development guy who just happens to have a lot of property down there in the Draper area.
We didn't even think about that.
Well, he says, listen, sure, I'm a big real estate developer with property down there, and if they move the prison. He said, that's going to help property values down in the Draper area. It's going to make them go up a lot.
Sure.
But my properties, listen, I'm going to have those developed and finished before the prison's ever moved. So it
doesn't help me.
Wait
a minute.
It'll be. Oh, wait a second.
No, wait a minute. It does help you.
It does
because
the properties. They're there.
It's there, and now people know that the prison is moving.
Did I mention that I own property down? I got excited about the move.
Listen, if I have to recuse myself, then I will. That's okay. Well,
it's already happening.
It's a little thing. Come on.
It's like buying the nicest house in the crappiest neighborhood, and you hope it turns and becomes more valuable.
He's making the neighborhood
because
better.
he bought it at a cheap price, and it will go up later.
Oh, did I mention? Listen. You know who picked him to be the leader of he's Senate president.
Mm-hmm.
He was handpicked for that job by the retiring, outgoing legislator who was president of the Senate, Al Mansell.
Mansell, now I've heard that name.
The biggest real estate developer in the state.
Did I mention that I'm one of the real estate? I'm sorry. I should mention these things.
I'm on a committee, but and tragedy.
Oh,
Ingvar Kamprad.
I know
who.
Ingvar Kamprad.
I don't know who that is.
You know.
I do.
He 93 took a tiny mail order furniture business and turned it into IKEA.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's been a little hitch in his burial.
Don't do that. They
were putting together his coffin, but they couldn't find an Allen wrench.
Everyone has made that joke.
Oh, come on.
He barreled the...
Listen, I promise you, I have not heard anyone make that joke. But it is the joke that everyone has to make. I know.
All over Twitter. It was on Saturday Night Live.
I
read that joke.
Was it always an Allen wrench joke?
Because everybody's mind goes there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was trying to think. I said to my wife, "Now I'd like to make a joke where they're going to bury him and then because everything at IKEA has a name."
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't think of a.
Just go online and look it up quick. A Bjornsson or whatever.
Yeah, or a Kambler Hunsen. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, he's dead.
Yeah.
Anyways, 93.
Tragedy.
It was quite a life.
93 is good.
Quite a life.
93.
And if you're a big fan, as I am, of Beetle Bailey,
you are really a big.
You know that Mort Drucker has passed as well.
Please.
The creator of Beetle Bailey
and High and Lois.
Well, yes.
Don't forget High and Lois.
But I'm trying to remember all of the horrible sexist jokes in Beetle Bailey with the secretary, the general's secretary, and I can't remember her name. I meant to look it up. I'll look it up. And do you remember it?
It's Bjornsson.
Yeah. Yeah, the general is always trying to fix her with an Allen wrench.
That's right.
All right.
There we go.
That's it.
Climate change report and traffic.
Your climate change report brought to you by get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback credit card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org. It's very climate changey this week. That little bit of snow we got is going to go away because we'll have 53 for a high today. How about 57 tomorrow?
How about that?
7.
That's climate change update.
That's our January's.
Did you hear Donald Trump being interviewed by Piers Morgan about climate change? We'll talk about that coming up.
Is that a I guess it can't be a boner because it's. Now, quick check of traffic. Crash 114 South exit ramp from northbound I-15 on the shoulder. And that slowage at Hill Air Force Base, the west gate is still there. Not sure if it's an accident or if they're just slowly letting people in today. Not sure why, but let us know when that clears up. Text it to us 33986. Now it's time for
Secretary to General Half Track in Beetle Bailey. Her name was Miss Buxley.
Of course, Buxley. Yeah. We're going to do sports with Amy Donaldson, brought to you by. Don't miss out on another spectacular season of the best attended college women's athletic program in the nation. University of Utah Gymnastics team join the 9,000-plus season ticket holders as the 2018 Utes Gymnastics team fights for another season of excellence on the road to the NCAA championships. Once again, if you want to buy tickets, go to utahutes.com. And at the end of Amy's Sports Report, we have a pair of tickets to give away for the meet on Saturday against Washington. That starts at 1:30 p.m.
Amy Donaldson Sports. Break.
Here she is, Ms. Donaldson, who is a sports reporter and columnist for the Deseret News. You can read her inspirational sports columns every
Monday.
Every Monday?
Yep.
Almost every Monday.
almost.
Deseret News, or is it Des News? DESnews.com?
It's DeseretNews.com.
DeseretNews.com.
Mhm.
And what is your inspirational column about today? Will I need a handkerchief? Will I cry?
No, but you might be moved to donate some money. So
okay, I don't want to read it
see.
then.
Yeah, it's a fundraiser. I think it's a 5-year-old fundraiser for Huntsman Cancer Institute, where people climb up the stairs. That I think it's 24 flights of stairs at Wells Fargo. Yeah, 24 floors of stairs. And
they asked me to do that once, and I said, "Nah, I don't think so."
Yeah, I went and did a training with them. So
it's hard.
You know what? We were just chit chatting, and it wasn't too bad. But the next day, my calves were pretty sore. So maybe I need it.
Yeah,
but that's what my column is about today. Just their efforts.
And so now in sports, are we going to talk about Michigan State at all?
We can.
I have story after story about how this scandal at Michigan State,
the gymnastics,
because of the Larry Nassar, Dr. Nassar, who was also on the faculty at Michigan State.
He was a team doctor. For the athletic department.
It was just for the athletic department in general.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying this is going to be even worse than the Penn State scandal.
So I'm always interested in that. First of all, I'm always interested when we want to compare things, other
it's
than
all
saying,
horrible. Yeah.
how could something like this happen again?
Yes.
Because to me, they're just equally horrific, right? Both of them used their positions at a university to groom and find and abuse young people, whether they were students at the university or they were young women who came through the USA Gymnastics program or in some youth program who trusted him because he had this position at Michigan State and with USA Gymnastics. Sandusky, same thing. You know, what little kid doesn't want to come meet the football players at the college?
How high up does it go? I mean, the president of the university has already quit.
The athletic director has resigned.
And the athletic director has resigned.
But there's USA Gymnastics that has
all of USA Gymnastics Board has been asked to resign by January 31st.
And they will.
They did. Most of them have.
And so does this mean that the president of the university was a woman, I forget her name, who has resigned? Does this mean she knew about it?
No. What it means is that she should have known. She should have maybe the systems in place didn't safeguard against something like this. But what did happen, what's not in dispute, is, you know, the coaches have not defended themselves, but none of the coaches have come out and said these kids are lying. At least a half dozen of these young women, softball player, gymnast, you know, from other sports across the university, have said that they reported the abuse and that they reported being uncomfortable or wondering why they had to go to an exam at a hotel room or in an inappropriate place. Didn't use gloves during an examination.
And is a pelvic floor manipulation really the solution to all of your problems?
Well, and one of the women said she and her parents were told that he needed to examine her pelvic bone to decide if she had stopped growing.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of issues. I think there were a lot more people who knew.
Is it all Larry Nassar, though? Is it all back to Larry Nassar?
Is he the abuser?
I mean, it's all just him?
Oh yeah.
So it is. People do always want to compare. In a way, he is a bigger monster.
There's more people
because there are more victims.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have to remember that these women have come forward. Now, the 158-ish had come. They came forward after the judge said you can come in and talk.
Which means there's
and
more
say
out
whatever you
there
want.
that didn't
So
come
some of these
forward.
women never reported it, never talked to anybody about it, showed up at court to give their statement, right? Because they knew they weren't going to be judged or challenged or anything else.
Right.
So there are a lot of Sandusky's victims who never, ever came forward, who did not have that opportunity. Right. The only people who got to speak in his sentencing were victims of record, and that's the norm. That's normally what happens. But in this case, the judge said, I don't care who you are. If you are a victim in any way, shape, or form of this guy, I want to hear from you.
Well, what office is she running for? Is she grandstanding?
She honestly, I think that
there are people who've said that.
My husband would tell you that victim impact statements are for the victims anyway. They are just a cathartic process that they go through where they feel like they get to get off their chest or stare down their the perpetrator, whatever, and they get it off their chest. It literally doesn't have any legal implication on the sentencing. So, I mean, the sentences are usually guidelines or, I mean,
But I think they were
You know.
owed that at least.
Yeah, and so that's what she felt. The judge felt.
Maybe you can get past it if you can stand in front of him. And
say it.
So now, how about this?
So I
though?
think they should get at least a similar penalty to what Penn State
So how
got.
about this though? The coaches, like the basketball team,
Mhm.
and the team went out and won or something this weekend,
Mhm.
and then the coaches asked about, well, what about all of this Larry Nassar stuff? And
Mhm.
did you know about it? What did you know? Who did you? And the coach is kind of saying, listen, we just have to play the game, and we're just doing this. What kind of an implication is this going to have? Are these coaches now? And I don't know. They're nationally known guys.
Yeah,
Men and women.
Some
They're
of them
gonna
have already
they're gonna
announced.
quit.
I mean, I think there's
should
at least
quit.
been one that's already announced retirement. Some of them are not. I mean, they're going to get punished. Now, the NCAA has not handled this well either. Their Emmert, I think is the president Emmert. He said, I'm waiting for all the facts to come in.
Okay.
I mean, 160 people show
That's
up
enough.
at court to say that the facts are in. There's a problem, and it was missed by coach after coach. And some of those got reported up the chain and nothing ever happened. And USA Gymnastics paid some of these people to be quiet. So there were widespread problems that most people knew about. I don't know that we'll ever know the extent to which everyone knew or should have done something. But the way the NCAA has responded is abysmal, and watch and see what happens.
This is also one more example. Now, I know you when it comes to the Olympics, you're very... but the individual
I'm
stories,
pretty realistic,
the
yeah.
individual stories of the athletes, and this is what's important. And but the Olympic movement is rotten from top to bottom.
I think
top to
I don't know
bottom.
about top to bottom, but it is definitely there are definitely USA Gymnastics. I don't know who should keep their job.
Amy tries to separate the individual athletes.
Well,
from the,
because I know there's a woman from Utah who made the Olympic team who got cut from the team in 2012. I mean, sometimes the organizations take funding from the athletes and say, you're on your own. So I know what some of these athletes have done to get there, and it has nothing to do with people. These people who are getting six figures at USA Gymnastics to cover up sex abuse. It's a completely different universe.
Yeah. Some people won and lost over the weekend.
Yeah, they did. And the Jazz play tomorrow.
We're out of time.
And also, my husband promised you a big announcement.
Yes.
He has, as many men do, overpromised, and I will now underdeliver.
Okay.
And that is 3 weeks of very important sports as I head to South Korea on Monday.
What do you mean overpromised and underdelivered?
That's exciting news.
You would rather have VIS than Title IX?
I'll take
No,
both.
we like them both.
Well, for 3 weeks,
For 3
it'll
weeks.
be great.
For 3 weeks, you get.
That's very.
Your mind is blown. Your world has changed.
I don't know why he continues to be married to you, undercutting him like that. Undercutting him like that. That's just. What?
Listen, if the truth
Stand
hurts,
by your
Bill,
man,
the
Miss
truth
Buxley.
hurts. I'm gonna stand on him.
You can read the sports that Amy was supposed to do
On your website.
on our website at x96.com.
I'm sorry, that was all my fault.
That's okay.
But it was a.
We're sort of in between things right now anyway.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of... We're waiting for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Prediction, Super Bowl.
I'm gonna go with Tom Brady and the Patriots.
Mm.
I put some nice Super Bowl facts on your website though.
I'll read that.
Yeah.
I don't want the Patriots to win.
Yeah.
I know you don't, but they're gonna.
They probably will.
They probably will. All right.
He's too good.
I'm hearing from friends of the program that it's still bad up West Gate of Hill Air Force Base. Haven't heard why it's bad, but that says it's slow as hell at the West Gate. So if that's your way to get on base, give yourself some extra time or try another gate. There's other gates. You don't have to go on the West Gate. That's sports and traffic and weather and all that.
Now, I'm interested. I have no idea about what you're going to talk about here. It just says on our list, nobody pizzas like the Hut.
It's true.
Which is true. And Gina is going to talk about nobody pizzaing like the Hut.
Call right now, 877-602-9696. Only call if you can use them. These are the gymnastics tickets for this meet against Washington on Saturday.
All right. 3 pair?
No, we're just going to give one now. It's 3 pair this morning, so
3
we'll have
pair
more.
this morning.
We'll have more later.
All right, so call to win those. Also, round 1 of your boners coming up. Stand by. Hi there, it's Kerry Jackson. Geek Show is me and all my best friends sitting in my basement studio, drinking, laughing, and talking about the stuff we love. Sci-fi, movies, TV shows, comic books, toys, games, and more. Get a new not safe...
condom. Condom. Spell it with me now. C-O-N-D-O-M. And now let's use it in some dialogue featuring those two Utah guys, LeVar and LeGrand. We join LeVar and LeGrand as they split a hot fudge sundae and have some postum down to the Snell Groves. Remember, the word of the day is condom.
Oh, ma'am, this is really some good hot fudge. Nobody does fudge like Snell Groves, don't you think, LeVar?
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh, and they make a mean cup of postum, don't they?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, of course, Leatherby's is pretty good, too, like you. Well, you like the Leatherby's, don't you?
Yeah, whatever.
Well, for heck's sakes, LeVar, what is your problem? You are as closed-mouthed as a clam
Oh,
today.
it's nothing against you, LeGrand. I'm just worried about my nephew Varnell. I'm afraid he's gonna have to get married, and he's just too young.
Why, what did he do? Did he get that little girl he was going with pregnant?
Well, she's knocked up all right, but it ain't Varnell's fault. He don't have no experience with women. He didn't know what he was doing. He's a good boy. Varnell is just a little bit naive in the ways of love and sex. He got her in the family way all right, but he was fooled by that little tramp Chanel. She conned him into it. He didn't want to have sex with her, but she conned him into it with those feminine spells and such. She conned him, LeGrand.
Now settle down, LeVar. I believe you. Same thing happened to me when I married Vernille. She used some kind of evil spell to get me to have sex with her, too. Well, not before we was married, of course. But she uses them spells on me now. For heck's sakes, I don't want to have sex with the woman, but somehow she gets me to rise to the deed.
Well, that's what happened with Varnell. I mean, that temptress conned him into the sex deed. I told him this would have been avoided if he'd just wore one of them little rubber things on the end of his tallywhacker. What do you call them things?
I just call them rubbers.
Well, if he'd have had on a rubber, she wouldn't have gotten pregnant, even if he weakened when she conned him into sex. Now, he's not going to be able to open that lawnmower and knife sharpening business he's dreamed of. His life is just over.
Oh, now have some more postum, LeVar.
Bill, and of course, Gina on X96.
7:04.
I don't get that. And of course, Gina.
I don't know.
I don't. Is that mean? Is he being mean?
I don't know. I think he's a dick.
Yeah.
So my family went skiing yesterday up at Snow Basin.
Oh, what? Why didn't you? Did you have something else to do? Is that why you didn't go with them?
I did go with them. I went
well,
skiing.
Okay. Well, you said my family went skiing.
Well, I mean, I am part of my family.
Well, occasionally you are.
And we went to Snow Basin.
And did you ski?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I was excited because it was decided that after skiing, we were going to go to Prairie Schooner.
That was the deal?
That was exciting
That
to
was
you?
exciting because I go there for the chicken fried steak.
I would hope you know that Prairie Schooner, being the good religious people they are not open on Sunday.
Well, I didn't know that.
I did.
Until we're on our way down Ogden Canyon.
Prairie Schooner!
And then my hopes were dashed.
And what was the original one that Prairie Schooner came from? Over by the river there?
Well, there's Timber Mine.
Timber Mine.
That's the Prairie Schooner owner telling you subtly, you shouldn't be skiing on Sunday.
I think Prairie Schooner was first and then Timber Mine. Yeah.
So
both closed on Sunday.
So this whole story is food hopes in my family are dashed.
Well, why? Because you could have gone to my sister's restaurant on 25th Street.
She's open on Sunday. Okay.
Absolutely
All right.
open. She's open 7 days a week, I think. But I know she's open on Sunday.
So we went to another restaurant, and that. But anyway, I'm disappointed in my dining experience.
Where did you go?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying it
curious.
wasn't the Prairie Schooner. So we eat and we're on our way home, and my phone rings on our way home, and it's Festus, and Festus says, "My hopes were dashed for dinner tonight." I said, "Oh, we had the same problem."
Now wait a minute. I thought you said your family went skiing.
Well, Festus did. Festus doesn't ski. Everybody but Festus.
Your definition of family is certainly fluid.
Well, once they move out, they stop being family.
Yeah, he's different. He's
different.
a guest now.
Yeah. He shows up, laundry, things like that.
I said, "Well, what happened?" And he said, "Well, I thought I wanted Chick-fil-A, and then I remembered it's closed on
That's
Sunday."
another company telling you that you shouldn't be doing things on Sunday.
So then he said, "I thought," and he lives down by the Gateway, and he said, "Well, so I thought, well, I'll walk to the Gateway and get dinner." No, it's Sunday, so he walked all the way to the Gateway.
The way
from his apartment, so he's talking to me from the Gateway where he walked in the dark on Sunday night, and
that brave soul.
And I said, "Well, now what are you going to do?" And he said, "Well, here's the problem."
Was nothing open at the Gateway? I mean, the movie theater's open.
I mean, he went like at 6 o'clock or something.
He could have gone into the movie theater and had popcorn,
Maybe.
Yeah,
nachos,
hot dog.
Oh yeah.
And I said, "Well,
Pizza.
what happened?" And he said, "So I guess there's a Pizza Hut app."
Pizza Hut, yeah.
My
son uses that
where
as
you
well.
can order it right on your phone, and
yeah, my
and
son
have it.
does it. He loves it.
And he thought, "I'll order on the app, and by the time I walk back to my apartment,
It'll be
hot
there.
pizza ready to go." And I guess you get some sort of confirmation text back or something. And he realized he has 2 addresses in there. He has his apartment, and he also has our house.
Your house.
Where he used to be a part of the family. No longer a part of the family, apparently.
He accidentally put in my house. And he said,
It's a long walk from the Gateway.
So he doesn't have his car. And he said, by the time I walk back and get my car and drive to your house, I won't get there in time. And I said, well, we're, up in Ogden. We're not there either. I said, well, did you call to cancel it? And he said, I tried, but the Pizza Hut on 4th South was so busy. When they're busy, their phone goes to, their call center, which who knows where that is.
India. Bangalore.
He's like, I am trying to change the address. There is nobody at the house.
Well, Mr. Festus. Thank you for calling us, Mr. Festus.
And so he calls me. He's like, I don't know what to do. I can't there's a pizza on its way to your house.
Well, paid for?
No, and that was the thing. It was like you can pay it ahead of time or you can pay cash for it. And he's like, I don't know what. I said, well, you're not going to get there in time. Maybe we'll get there before you could get there. I don't know. So we pull up to the house, and there's a Pizza Hut car sitting in front of my dark house where nobody is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've all had dinner. We ate.
Well, you know, it refrigerates well.
Yeah.
You have pizza for another
could've-
3 or 4 days.
You could have brought it this morning. We
Maybe
could
I
have helped you with it.
Maybe I should have done that.
What
So
did you do?
Well, so this is my question. What would you have done? I mean, I paid her.
Well, it was obvious what you do. You take the pizza and you put it, you know, you separate it out because the box is too big to go in the refrigerator.
But I had a thought, and I wish I'd done this. I wish I'd paid for it and just gave it back to the pizza delivery driver and said, "There."
You wish you had given it back.
Yeah, like here, this is for you.
And the driver could say, "Thanks, I get all the pizza I need."
And I don't know, maybe
thanks, but
maybe
no
they
thanks.
do. But like, I had a car full of people that were full from a dinner we didn't want, and a hot pizza. Festus is starving down at the gateway.
So why didn't somebody quickly say, "Let's drive down and give the pizza to Festus"?
Yeah. Because we'd been driving since...
Because you people are dumb.
And I've got a text here from somebody who worked at California Pizza Kitchen who's there at the gateway, and they said they were open.
They're open.
He could have just...
On Sunday night at 6 o'clock?
Yes.
That's what he says, yeah.
Oh.
He could have just...
I don't think Festus can afford the California Pizza Kitchen.
So what did you do with the pizza?
It's in our fridge right now. It just seemed like a waste.
It is in the
Festus was
refrigerator.
starving at the gateway.
And nobody could drive 10 minutes to give him a pizza.
we'd
We've been driving. And he's not really a part of the family anymore. God.
It was just a night of disappointing food.
I am so disappointed. I'm not going to make sure my son gets fed. I'm going to bed.
But you should be able to call and say, "Hi, please change the address for that."
Okay, Mr. Festus, where are you?
But yeah,
Mr. Festus, where are you calling from? Now, what is that address again?
He could not get.
You have the most ineffectual family I have ever. There's not a single one of you who can do anything with any kind of.
All I know is that you were willing to give the pizza to the pizza delivery guy who gets free pizza, probably.
Do you think? I don't know. I'd like to know.
You didn't even think about bringing it to us to have.
I'm sorry.
Breakfast pizza.
And I live close to you. You could have brought it here. You could have you could have taken it to your son. Any number of things, but no.
It's sitting in my fridge right
Yes, Dylan.
Even if the pizza delivery guy doesn't get free pizza, he still works as a pizza. It's like if I have all this morning radio, Gina, that I'm not going to listen to. Do you want to listen to this free morning radio when you're not?
No.
No, you don't.
Okay.
He's sick of pizza.
So here comes Dylan to pile on. What's
what
wrong with you people?
What you should have done was gone down, picked up Festus at the gateway, and given the pizza to the road home. Found somebody at the gateway to give it to. He wouldn't eat cold pizza. We know that Festus is Gina's son, and he wanted fresh pizza. He's not going to eat.
That's true.
Cold pizza.
And you're just going to throw it away. You
no,
probably
I
did
told
throw it away.
I told Mohammed and Jonesy, you're having this for lunch today.
Okay.
So.
Yay! Put a fried egg on top of it, and it's a breakfast pizza.
Oh.
Well, we're happy. We'll throw up. There you go.
So yeah, we had.
Nicely done, Gina.
Disappointing.
Yeah, I'm getting all kinds of reports of places that are open on Sunday night at the gateway.
After 6 o'clock?
Yeah, Costa Vita, Panda Express, Happy Sumo.
He said he went down to the food court and there was nothing. So
well, those aren't. I think the food court.
I think the food court has changed. There isn't a food court anymore.
Wherever the food is. I don't know.
It's a food court.
I should have told him to go play in the fountain.
But again, remember, he's Gina's kid.
Yeah.
He is as picky
if he goes,
as she is.
He is.
And he goes and he looks and he goes, "Huh, it looks a little kind of dark over there."
Yeah.
Well, I guess nothing's open.
Yep. So I've got to find some other. So Sunday's not the day to do any of this.
You
got to find a different day to go to Prairie Schooner.
That's what the Prairie Schooner and Chick-fil-A people are trying to tell you. You should stay home on Sunday.
You know that pizza.
But I wanted to ski and have chicken fried steak. That's what I wanted on my Sunday.
Because nobody pizzas like the Hut. Oh, and because you didn't get what you wanted, then just that all thoughts of what your family needs go out of your mind.
That's right.
So
have him call me. I'll teach him how to use Uber Eats.
That pizza will be good for breakfast tomorrow if you want to bring it in.
Maybe I will.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
I might. If you want it, I'll bring it. Let's see. We've got a crash northbound I-15 at 123rd South on the left shoulder. And that's about it. Still haven't heard an update on the issues on the West Gate at Hill Air Force Base. Oh, let's see. Oh, no. Someone just a few seconds ago says the reason for the cluster at the West Gate is due to an exercise on base. So they are still having issues there. So be aware of that. That's traffic brought to you by, upon qualification, buy a new home with New Dwello's Gift of Equity program. A gift could mean up to $8,740 for the purchase of a new home. Text the word money to 62687.
All right, here are your Boehner candidates. Round one coming up. Now, Boehner candidate number one, I couldn't think of a good title for it. But I just wrote for the title what it was that made me want to do the Boehner candidate, and that is, this just makes me sad. Boehner candidate number two, nobody flies for free. And Boehner candidate number three, Jesus spoke to me.
All right, round one of your Boehner voting coming up, along with big boy news and opinionuendo. Stand by for that.
You know, Festus maybe could have texted the word money to 62687.
That works.
And
for a down payment on a new home?
Yes.
Okay.
And no, it doesn't really tie into pizza. No. But it does tie into the fact that Lolly, with the New Dwello team, can help you get grant money for a down payment on a home. Now, this doesn't have to be a new home. You don't have to be a first-time buyer. There are some qualifications.
That's what the questionnaire is. When you get that, it'll weed out who's available and who's not for the grant.
So it's a home that's $437,000 or less. That's the limit. So you can get grant money for a home of that price or less. Text the word money to 62687 if you're a buyer. And if you're a seller, this can also be helpful and help you sell your home. So text the word money to 62687.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
That's how desperate I am.
At 10 a.m., right after Radio from Hell.
We're desperate.
At 1 p.m., while you're listening in the workplace.
This is so complete.
Up Snuffy and Guffey. And let me just say this.
Mm-hmm.
What has happened, we look at the camera, what has happened to Snuffy and Guffey is a tragedy, all right?
They're still on, aren't
it's
they?
It's a crime, what is happening.
You know when they recast Bo and Luke Duke on the Dukes of Hazzard?
Same thing. It's exactly that.
It's exactly that.
I actually heard one.
Recently?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they're still using it. They're still using the jingle. And it's like imitations of our voices that we did.
Yeah.
It's a crime.
You only would have heard it if you listened to the Cocteau Twins.
It's a crime what is happening with Snuffy and Guffey.
Man.
All right.
Well, is it time to do the
news?
news?
You can't do that.
I was never clear which one I was.
You were?
You're Guffey.
Guffey.
Carrie, Bill, Snuffy, Guffey. It's easy to remember.
So I was Guffey?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It just never mattered. That's why I was unclear, because it didn't matter. There were no, they didn't have any clear character traits. They were just two hillbillies.
All right, big boy news, and it's a tragedy. I'm telling you, it's a crime. What is happening?
Actually, I guess they did have. So me, Guffey,
yes,
was the henpecked one, right? Wasn't I always the henpecked one in the commercials?
That was one of
his.
Well,
my wife says I can't.
Exactly.
I've got to go to Smith and Edwards and get myself a new belt. My pants keep falling off.
I'm looking to see. Oh.
What? You have
Do
some?
we run some Smith and Edwards
I was
in one of
wondering
our
if
stations?
our country station had that. But No.
No.
Well, they're just 17 seconds, so I doubt they have the characters on them.
There's always something going on at Smith and Edwards.
Oh, that's just Pete.
Well,
Pete would hate that I just said that.
That's just Pete.
You outed him,
You outed the character.
Yeah.
All right. Big boy news and opinioendo now, brought to you by
Smith and Edwards.
The Country Boy
Sure,
Store.
why not?
They got everything you want if they can find it.
Send them a bill.
We ought to send them a bill, and they'll pay us in RV surplus.
That's right, Snuffy.
I'm telling you right now, you listen to those ads. It is a crime what is happening.
Let's see if I can get.
I done nuts there for a minute, didn't I? All right.
Edge! I'm telling you, Edge!
The name Radio from Hell came from working in a spider-infested, dusty old studio with substandard equipment in Ogden. Now, Carrie, Bill, and Gina have a big, fancy studio in beautiful downtown Salt Lake. And they still find things to bitch about. X96.
Wouldn't have a show if we didn't do that.
I suppose. Nobody wants to hear about your personal life.
You had for dinner the car you drive?
Sorry. Get me going.
We do the show for us, just so you know. We let you listen in. That's how this works. Okay. Let's see. It's 7:21. Time for round one of your Boehner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you will decide with your vote which of these 3 items is the worst. Which one of these 3 items deserves to go forward to Boehner fight and get a 50-50 shot at becoming Boehner of the Day. It'll go up against the winner of round 2. Round 2 happens at 8:20, and then we put them both in Boehner Dome for Boehner fight at 9:20. So 2 candidates now, then a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, then you'll vote. One of you lucky random Boehner voters will receive
I Can't Buy It, Gotta Win It, Radio from Hell Boehner t-shirt, courtesy of Excel Automotive Repair, Radio from Hell's official auto mechanics. Don't buy a lemon. Try Excel Automotive's $50 bumper-to-bumper used car checkover before you buy. Limit 2 cars per $50.
Here's Boehner candidate number 1. I couldn't think of a title. I couldn't think of anything, clever or witty or pointed to say. This Boehner candidate just made me sad. And so I called it that. This just makes me sad. For years, Texas education officials illegally led schools across the state to deny therapy, tutoring, and counseling to not hundreds, not thousands, but tens of thousands of children with disabilities, the federal government said. In a letter to the Texas Education Agency, which is a joke, which oversees education in the state, regulators from the Federal Department of Education said the state agency's decision to, quote, set a target for the maximum percentage of students who should receive special education services had violated federal laws requiring schools to serve all students with disabilities. And by the way, had not just violated federal laws, but violated every standard of decency that I could possibly think of. The target, enacted in 2004 and eliminated last year, when they got caught, was set at 8.5% of enrollment, and school districts were penalized for exceeding that benchmark.
Like they were just creating disabled students.
8.5%.
Like they have some say in how many disabled students.
That is the once you reach 8.5% of students with disabilities in your district, cut it off. That's it.
But
no
they
more.
live here, so what?
Sorry.
No?
Sorry. In the letter, federal regulators ordered the state to design a plan to identify students who were inappropriately kept out of special ed and to figure out how to help them, among other corrective actions. We're talking about 150,000 or more children with some sort of disability that needed special education that were just cut out. The order brought an end to one of the Department of Education's most extensive reviews in recent history. Betsy DeVos, well, in this case, is
she doing the right thing here?
She didn't start this investigation, but she has full. She has supported it.
Well,
she says every child with a disability must have appropriate access to special education and related services that meet his or her unique needs. She said far too many students in Texas had to be precluded from receiving supports and services. By the way, the state of Texas had denied for months that any child had been inappropriately kept out of special education. But the state's own records and the governor and the education commissioner responded to the federal review on Thursday by saying, we're sorry. We're sorry we did this for years.
It's the first time I've heard Betsy DeVos say anything that was okay.
Well, it's just what she read what was put in front of her. This is an investigation that was ongoing before she ever got in place. She's just the spokesperson. Boehner candidate number 1. It just makes me sad. 8 point. Cut it. I'm sorry, but there are kids here that... No, sorry. Here's Boehner candidate number 2. Nobody flies for free. A woman flying from Pueblo, Colorado to visit her dying mother one last time. Her mother was in Minnesota, was removed from a plane over a ticketing issue. Carol Amrick was sitting on a flight waiting for the plane to take off when she says the flight attendant approached her and said, you'll have to leave the plane. Miss Amrick was informed that her ticket had been canceled and she was escorted off the plane. Amrick pleaded with the attendants to let her stay on the plane, but she was allegedly told nobody flies for free. Once back in the terminal, Miss Amrick called her landlord, Ms. Pralis, who had purchased the ticket for her because Amrick did not have the money.
Oh, this just gets sadder.
So she didn't have the money for the flight, but her landlord said, look, I know this is important to you. I will buy you a ticket to go see your dying mom. I said, I said, take my credit card. We'll straighten this out later, but get back on that plane.
Yeah.
Here's my credit card number. And so Miss Amrick went to the ticket. She but the ticket attendant said, no, I'm sorry. Sorry,
Tell me her mother didn't die before she got home.
So desperate to see her mother, she rented a car, jumped in the car to drive to Minnesota. She traveled through the night, not even stopping to use the bathroom, she said. She didn't make it.
No, this is horrible.
Wow.
I drove 1,000 miles. She was gone before I got there. I never stopped to rest. I went straight through.
You can't make that right.
She was gone.
There's no writing that wrong.
I cried the whole way from Pueblo, Colorado.
Oh.
Boehner candidate number 2, which is nobody flies for free. Boehner candidate number 3 coming up in a moment. Jesus spoke to me.
Hope we got some silly boners coming up because those are terrible.
Jesus spoke to me.
Boehner candidate number 3 for round 1 coming up after this big boy news and Opinioendo brought to you by.
Get unlimited 1.5% cash back plus a $100 bonus with Power Cashback Credit Card from Security Service Federal Credit Union. Restrictions apply. Get details at ssfcu.org.
Great. I would think this is a kind of story you would like, Gina, and maybe you've been following. But if not, let me know.
Okay.
And then I'll just move on.
All right.
John Anglin. Let's see, the three inmates who famously broke out of Alcatraz prison.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of know
Sure.
about that. In 1962, may not have gone down to their watery graves in shark-infested San Francisco Bay after all. So Alcatraz on an island out in the bay in San Francisco, and they haven't used it as a prison for years, but they were supposedly. It was just almost impossible to break out of. But if people did break out of it, occasionally they did, it was on this island, and none of them made it to shore, they would say. And there are sharks in the water. It's cold. It's choppy all the time. But these 3 inmates broke out, and they never have found a trace of them. Ever.
Sharks ate them.
Well,
right?
that's what they concluded. We didn't find any trace of them anywhere. They must have gone down.
Or maybe that's the story they told the inmates so no one would try to break out. No one's ever made it to shore.
So according to a letter reportedly written by one of the 3 inmates in 2013, they all survived. My name is John Anglin. I escaped from Alcatraz June 1962 with my brother Clarence and with Frank Morris. I'm now 83 years old and in bad shape. I have cancer. Yes, we all made it that night, barely, said the letter. In the
I
letter,
totally believe this, by the way.
Yeah, in the letter, see, this is, and
Totally
have you
believe
heard
it.
about it? You've
Yeah.
read about it? So, yeah, he's in the letter, the guy says he tries to strike a deal with the FBI, offering to be locked up again for a year in exchange for medical care. He says, I'm really old, I'm really sick. Lock me up.
I don't think they're going to take you up on that.
Lock me up. I'll see if I can get medical care. The feds have reopened the case as a result of the evidence, which was sent to San Francisco police. I don't know if they can prove it's him. They might lock him up.
No, they're not going to lock him up just so they can pay for his medical bill. There's no way they will do that.
Gina, they might lock him
They
up.
let people out when they get sick. Sorry, we don't want to take care of you.
Gina, they might lock him up because he is a criminal who escaped prison.
No. They let people, oh, I'm sorry, you have cancer, but you murdered people? We're going to let you out because we don't want to pay for that.
It's what happens all the time, every time. All right, let's see. Here's Police are investigating the death of a 54-year-old man who died in a fight with his son here in Salt Lake City.
Okay.
God. Salt Lake Police Lieutenant Victor Cyberneck said the stabbing appears to have occurred during a fight just right in the here in this part of the city, like 17th South and like above, it's above 7th East, 17th South above 7th East. It was unclear what weapon was used in the stabbing, but apparently there were other family members at home, but it was the father and the son arguing.
I'm sure it was for a good reason.
I'm sure it was. It always is.
Yeah.
An adult son stabbing his father to death in a fight. Great. Let's see.
You should probably mention the Grammys even if you don't want to.
We will. We'll get to the Grammys.
Okay.
We'll get to. I don't know if we'll get to them this news, but we will get to the.
Okay.
We'll get to the Grammys. Don't worry. Steve Wynn.
Yeah.
Big Las Vegas mogul, casino mogul, Republican donor. Steve Wynn has resigned from the GOP's top money man in the wake of troubling sexual misconduct allegations against him. The prominent donor and fundraiser fell on his own sword less than a day after the Wall Street Journal reported that he once paid $7.5 million to settle claims by a former employee that he pressured into sex. Now, he has said, I didn't do it, I didn't do it, I didn't do it. What was that $7.5 million payment?
She was
great.
She was very good at what she did.
Anytime I asked her to go to Office Max for copy paper, she would do it.
She was his manicurist.
Was she a manicure?
Yeah.
She wasn't
manicurist,
an office
massage
assistant.
therapist. Yeah.
Oh, well, anytime I had a hangnail, yeah. And so Steve Wynn, also a great friend of Donald Trump's.
Yes. They were rivals for a while, but then they became friends.
Yeah, and he was named. Wynn was named the treasurer, I think it is, of the Republican National Committee. That's what he's resigned from. And
I'll take care of the money.
And now there are people saying, well, all of those campaign donations you made to prominent Republicans, they should give that money back.
Oh, sure they should. Remember, the Republicans were all over the Democrats with the Harvey Weinstein thing. Give that money back. It's dirty money. And the Democrats did.
Yeah, most of them did give
for the
money
most
back.
part. Yeah. So I just think that in kind they should give the Wynn money back.
And let's see, how much time do we have here?
Oh, you got time. Yeah,
Got time?
2 minutes.
Because I got to do some Grammy news for Gina.
Well, I'm just
Donald Trump is waging. Okay, let me do some Grammy news for you right now. Bruno Mars.
Yes.
Now
there you go.
Let's move on. This is Bruno Mars.
It's all about Bruno.
Bruno Mars.
Okay.
12 women were honored by the Sundance Institute. 12 Utah women. Let's see, a sheriff, a state Supreme Court justice, Southern Utah conservationist. The three were among 12 Utah women honored Thursday by the Sundance Film Festival Utah Women's Leadership Celebration in Park City. Sundance Film Festival founder Robert Redford was also honored for his work over the years to support women as independent filmmakers, and Gina Davis received a special recognition for her work to promote gender parity in children's television and film. Actress Heather Graham headlined the event, which was hosted by Zions Bank and Sundance Institute for the 5th year. So it's kind of a little partnership here.
That's nice.
Where they give an award to these women. Here they are. Pamela Atkinson.
Love her.
Advocate for the homeless. Lucy Cardenas.
I'm guessing Red Iguana.
Very good,
Okay.
Gina. The owner of the Red Iguana. Diane James.
Don't know.
Chief Human Resources Officer for Zions Bank.
Okay, yeah, well, I wouldn't.
Stephanie Larson. I don't know. Founder of Encircle House. I don't even know what Encircle House is. Rebecca Livermore, who's an artist. Senator Ann Miller, who is a senator here in the state of Utah. Patricia Morton, Dean of the University of Utah School of Nursing. Jill Parrish, a Supreme Court Justice here in Utah. Virginia Pierce, Director of the Utah Film Commission. Heidi Red, who's a terrific woman. She's a rancher from down in San Juan County. She's about this tall. She's about 4 feet tall. She wears a big cowboy hat. She's 80-something years old and is just and is all about preserving the land down in that area, down in Bears Ears and all that. Sheriff Rosie Rivera, she's the sheriff of Salt Lake County, and Kerry Romano, CEO of the Intermountain Ronald McDonald's House, all honored by this Sundance Film Festival. I don't understand.
And Bruno Mars.
I don't understand quite how that works.
What do you mean?
Well, so what? It doesn't have anything to do with film. I guess it's just the Sundance Film Festival saying,
honoring people.
Here we are in Utah, and we're the Sundance Film Festival, and we like you. Oh, and Zions Bank has partnered up with us, so okay.
Let's see. Do you have a traffic and climate change report?
I do. Let's see. It's very climate changey this week. 53 today. You're like, well, that's warm. Oh, you haven't even seen Tuesday yet, where it will be 57. It is not March, even though it feels like March. Crash northbound Redwood Road near Camp Williams. A car went off to the right side into the fence. Fender bender southbound I-15 near the Kaysville Ponds. Cars on the right shoulder causing some slowage as traffic gets by. And I've heard from a couple people that not only is the West Gate backed up to get onto Hill Air Force Base, but the South Gate is too. I guess they're doing some exercises there that are causing you to have a hard time getting on base. So if people could text me and let me know when that clears up, 33986. Brought to you by, stop buying disposable office printers off the shelf at that big box store. Get the highest quality commercial grade printers from Valley Office Systems for a whole lot less than you would expect. ValleyOfficeSystems.com.
Bruno Mars, real name, Peter Hernandez.
Bruno Mars is better.
Peter Hernandez, and that's your Grammy News. Here's Boehner candidate number 3. Jesus spoke to me. You can see this guy probably if you go to x96.com/live. Chad O. England is arrested.
There he is.
He flipped his truck 5 times.
Wow.
He's in Marysville, Tennessee. He flipped his truck 5 times because, quote, Jesus was calling him and advised him to let go of the wheel. According to police, Mr. England was arrested after he got out of the vehicle and attempted to run away. He was carrying a jar and speaking gibberish. Deputies were notified about an accident on Sunday. When deputies searched the vehicle, they found 6 grams of marijuana, 0.8 grams of cocaine, a pipe, rolling papers, and 3/4 of a empty bottle of Crown Royal, a small empty bottle of Crown Royal, and several cans used for huffing, police said. England faces multiple offenses, including drug and traffic charges. They said, how did you roll your truck? Jesus said, Chad, what I want you to do right now is just let go of the wheel. Take all 10 fingers off of the wheel.
And Jesus take the wheel. It's the song tells him
exactly
to do
right.
that.
He did. I guess Jesus took the wheel, but Jesus is a lousy driver.
He is. And he just has his learners, really.
Yeah, the truck flipped, and there you go.
Who's down with G.O.D.?
Number 3, Jesus spoke to me.
All right, so let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boehner candidate number 1, I didn't have a title for it. Just makes me sad. The state of Texas illegally excluding thousands of students over the years from special education programs because, well, we're Texas. And Boehner candidate number 2, nobody flies for free. A woman traveling to see her dying mother kicked off of an air flight, and she didn't get there in time. Her mother died before she could get there. And Boehner candidate number 3, Jesus spoke to me.
All right, you've got to decide which one of these is the worst. Which one of these 3 deserves to go to Boehner Fight and get a 50-50 chance of becoming Boehner of the Day. So one of these 3 will qualify in round 1. Pick it, 1, 2, or 3, the candidate you think should win. Put that number in the message of a text. Text it to 33986. That's the easiest, quickest way to do it. Another way is 877-602-9696 if you're desirous of human contact. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says, vote for your boners here, January 29, something. All right, you've got less than 4 minutes. Let's go. It's Boehner, round 1.
X96 is...
Oh, who's supposed to be here today?
Is he?
Wednesdays.
No. Kerry, he quit.
Well,
remember?
I know. He's supposed to be here to offer our best friends of the program little weenies.
And he's quit us.
Because in the morning, we ask the important question, little Smokies or little Polskas.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, people had not tried either.
No.
So, and it was great. We still have the crock pots, the little crock pots under my desk.
Thanks, Dominic.
From Gina's cousin. This is your little, it says, Dear Radio from Hell cast. This is your former little weenie intern again. I have a request that I wish to run by all of you. I'm a bit nervous to ask you all of this, but...
No, you've abandoned us.
I have to
whatever it
try.
is.
I've been bummed out all week because of having to quit my internship. And I've debated pulling a Michael Jordan or more recently a Brett Favre and coming out of retirement, or a Lance Armstrong. And coming out of retirement, but alas, I cannot. I have too much school on Wednesdays, and yes, I do want more time with my wife. But that being said, I want to be a part of the show in some way so bad that I have an idea. I want to be the first Radio from Hell email news intern or something to that effect. Now, hear me out. This is my idea for it. As you know, I live in Ogden, and I get the Standard Examiner newspaper. As I read this paper, I often find news that seems to be in the paper for no other reason than to fill newspaper space. The news in Ogden is outright boring. My idea is that I could write a weekly email and share some of these news stories in a fun, comedic way. You could call it the Ogden Weenie News or something similar. If you like the Weenie News that week, you could read it on the air. I think that this would be a great opportunity for me to improve my writing skills, and that's why I look at it as an internship still. I know Richie's in charge of the internship, so of course ask him for his input about this as well. And maybe I could make a rare occasional visit to the studio weenies and all. I almost did not write to you to ask this, but I thought, why would they even consider doing this for me? But then I thought, well, I was a good little weenie intern, and maybe they will cut me a break. At least give me a week or two to see if I can do it. And if you all want to let me do something else similar to this, or if you have any other ideas, please just let me know. Maybe this was a bad idea. If it is, let me know. Thanks for letting me listen and cook the weenies. Love you, former little weenie intern Ben.
Well, Richie, of course,
comes Stedman.
In charge of the interns. He probably wants to weigh in.
He can. Yeah, we can have him help us out. If he'd like to help us out with the big ass show, we could use a hand.
Oh.
And if you and Ben, I'll send him an email. But if you want to send some news items from Ogden,
sure.
No guarantee that they would make the air, but.
And I'm being sincere, Ben. And if you in the future you clear your life up, you can come in and be here with us in the morning because I like you well enough.
He's a great guy.
The problem is he kind of sounds like he wants to rewrite the news in Ogden, whereas we probably just want him to send us copies of the articles.
Well, let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do.
And that sort of go against your rule about professionals doing comedy?
Well, I'm not saying he'll make the cut. You know, I'm not saying it'll get on, but see what he can do.
All right, 7:44. Time to award round one of your Boehner voting.
And round one of the Boehner voting is brought to you in part by a bacon, lettuce, and tomato salad. So it's like a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, but you just
in salad form.
You make it into a salad.
If you have a salad with bacon and tomato on it, that's just a salad,
No,
right?
but you do more than that.
Oh.
You put chunks of bread in it, and you make a dressing out of mayonnaise that's really good.
Not everything can be a salad.
Yes, it can. That's it's just your limited imagination that says that.
And board game lovers, Haster Games has what you need. Pokemon's Ultra Prism is available for pre-orders with a February 2nd release. Star Wars Legion is coming soon. Need Valentine's Day gifts. Board games last longer than chocolate. Learn more at hastergames.com.
So we had Boehner candidate number 1, which was, it just makes me sad, Texas excluding all of these special education students because, you know, I assume it was a money thing. You know, the money could, listen, we set a quota, and the rest of these special education students, they don't need services. And because, you know, because this other students, they really need it.
The football team needs cleats, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that. Then there was Boehner candidate number 2. Nobody flies for free. This woman trying to get back home to see her dying mother, and she was thrown off of a plane. There was a problem with her ticket. She tried to resolve it, but they were having none of it. She said, my mom's dying. Can we, look, it's just a mix-up. Can I just get there and then I'll fix it? Nope, sorry. And Boehner candidate number 3, Jesus spoke to me as a guy driving his truck, and it flips, it rolls, and they said, well, what happened here? I mean, he was obviously high, but what happened here? Well, I took my hands off the wheel because Jesus spoke to me. Jesus told me to do it. Jesus is apparently a lousy driver. Let's see. Amanda won the Boehner T-shirt, and the winner was Boehner candidate number 2. Nobody flies for free.
Good candidate, and it has a 50-50 chance of becoming Boehner of the Day. It goes up against the winner of round 2. Round 2 happens at 8:20, and we put them both in the ring for Boehner fight at 9:20 to decide who Boehner of the Day is. Coming up.
Now, I had this list, and everybody loves lists.
They love lists.
And it was, I thought I put it in my news files this morning. I can't find it. But it was the best and worst places to live in the country. And Utah was in the bottom 5.
No.
Bottom 5 of worst?
Worst, you know, the best places and worst places. So I just looked at the bottom 5. The very worst place to live was Florida.
Oh, so we're not a bad place to live.
Yes, we are. We're in the bottom 5, along with Florida. Florida's the very worst of all the 50 states. Utah was like 47. We're not the worst, but we are close.
Utah was 47?
That means it's a good place
out of
to
50,
live.
yeah.
No.
Right?
No. The way the list works, so the very best place to live, number 1.
Oh, okay. So this
how is that hard to understand?
No, you said it was a list of the worst places to live. What you're giving is a list of the best places to live.
I'm sorry.
See,
you're right.
if we're at the bottom of the worst places to live, then we're good.
Yeah. And I remember where I got it.
I have it.
Is it Thrillist?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, I was trying to find it.
So what's the criteria? Or can you tell? Thrillist is one of those sites that I don't go to that often because
it just popped up in the news, so I looked at it.
Utah's listed at 46.
46, yeah.
On that, but no, this is not a good list.
Well, it's as I glanced at it, it just made a snarky comment about Utah.
Yeah. Seeing how let's see. We thought it was time to use a perfectly American cliche, go big or go home, to rank the states based on everything, more specifically their contributions to America. So think inventions, food and drink, famous people, which, maybe Utah's not famous for those things.
No.
Well, but the criteria is the contributions to America. So who was number 1?
So here's the snarky thing they said about Utah. Utah's still amazed it managed to host the Olympics.
Well, that's true.
Well, that's absolutely true. So I love this list.
But this is contributions to America, not best place to live. That's just
it's
the
best.
This can't be true. Michigan,
number 1, and that's based.
Michigan's a terrible place to live. Detroit, nobody wants to live in Detroit. This list does not. I'm throwing.
Well, what's
this
their
list out.
contributions?
Let's see.
Well, Detroit would be Motor City.
Yeah,
would be the music from Motor City and Motor City.
Their state is shaped like an oven mitt.
And beer.
Okay. And beer.
And Kid Rock. They mentioned Kid Rock. This is not a list that you should pay attention to. Well, if they list Kid Rock as a reason Michigan is the number 1 place to live.
Well, does it say number 1 places to live, or what states have made the most contributions to American life?
It just says every state in America ranked
by their contribution.
Bill, you should take less from Thrillist. See, now I have one from U.S. News and World Report.
Oh, wow.
Almost a nearly defunct magazine.
Best states overall ranking.
This was my grandfather, one of the most conservative men on the planet. This was a magazine he read cover to cover every week.
This is based on things like healthcare, education, crime, economy,
Best and worst places
All right.
to live. So what's the best place to live?
According to this, Massachusetts.
Michigan. Right.
And according to this list, Utah is number 7 best state. So I will take that over the Thrillist saying that Kid Rock is a reason that Michigan is the best state. Top 5, I'll give you the top 7 since Utah's 7. Massachusetts number 1, New Hampshire number 2.
Let me stop you there too. By the way, Massachusetts probably ranked pretty high because of their health care system.
Yeah,
which was put into place by Mitt Romney.
It's Romney Care.
Utah. Yeah, it is. It's Romney Care. A healthcare system that was very close to Obamacare.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that could never work, though.
Because President Obama, in part, and his healthcare people looked at Massachusetts and said, hey, this thing that Romney put in place there, this is working pretty good.
Well, you see, the problem was Obama was a Democrat.
And black.
Number 2 is number 2 is New Hampshire. Number 3, Minnesota. Number 4, North Dakota. Number 5, Washington.
North Dakota? It's a horrible place. It's a horrible place. All that oil. So they get all that oil shale going up there in those oil camps, and all those transient workers going in there. Crime is rampant. Oh, it's an awful place.
I'm gonna. How much do you want to bet Florida is number 1 on this list too, though?
Of
worst. Oh no! Now see, this says Louisiana is the worst place.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
I think it would be Mississippi, wouldn't it?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Mississippi's 49, and then Arkansas, and then Alabama.
All in the South. Yeah.
So why?
I'm
Utah?
counting my list better than your dumb list for Thrillist.
The Thrillist list. Someone says, "Don't listen to the Thrillist list. I left Michigan because of how bad the economy is."
They don't know. I like living in Utah. Why were you attracted to a list that said Utah was a bad place to live?
I just thought it was interesting that the one thing that they pointed to was absolutely correct. We're still amazed that we were able to host the Olympics.
That's the one thing they got right.
It's the only thing they said.
But we hosted it and made money. It was.
And you know who was responsible for that, don't you? Mitt Romney.
I hope he brings Romney Care to Utah when he's governor.
It was one of the most successful Olympics anybody has had.
You will note that Mitt Romney immediately turned against Obamacare, even when everybody kept saying it's very similar or almost exactly like
Again,
I'm sorry.
He's a Democrat.
No, I'm sorry. This is wrong because it's a Democrat.
No, that's not what he said. What he said was, I'm for states' rights, and I think states should decide whether they want this or not, and it should not be a federal program. He never backed up on what his program was, and he's proud of that. But he's saying that was good for Massachusetts. What's good for Massachusetts is not good for everyone, and the state should decide.
Which is not true.
Which is not true, but...
It was a convenient way out.
Yeah.
Well, I like what the all-knowing suit had to say about this. The criteria for the best place to live list is based solely on the places that you can get chicken fried steak on a Sunday.
Yes.
So this is a horrible, horrible place to live.
Well,
horrible.
If you live near the Prairie Schooner, apparently.
So, well, I don't think you can get a good chicken fried steak almost anywhere, apparently.
I'm going to Google chicken fried steak on Sunday.
On Sunday at Lucky 13, they do a chicken fried steak.
They do?
Only on Sunday.
Jeannie, you can't take your family.
You can't take your kids
and
down.
I know you like to do things with your family, except when you don't do things with your family.
Yeah, you can't take the kids in there.
Sorry.
It's a child-free place, and I love it.
That's why you love it.
How was the skiing at Snow Basin? Did you do a lot of runs, Gina?
The good thing about Snow Basin is they're long runs.
Yeah.
So it's not the number of runs
see.
you do.
Did you actually put on skis?
Yes.
And you went up?
Yes.
And you went down one... Which run was it? Do you remember the name?
We went all the way to the top on the gondola, and there's several runs you go down that way. I did a Black Diamond.
Which one?
119.
And then would you remember the names of any of the other ones?
That's the one I remembered.
Or were you just screaming all the way down?
No. But it was great. Although my sister told me not to tell people I went to Snow Basin, and it was great because she said then people will start coming.
Well, it is.
It's a great resort.
Apparently, people are saying. I mean, I think they have more snow than anybody right now.
They do, but you know what? There are still places that were rocky, and it's not a lot of snow. But we had a great time. And they have good bathrooms at Snow Basin. That's what I said.
That Carrera marble in the bathroom.
It's true.
Yep.
Let's see. UHP on the scene of a crash, I-15 southbound at Beck Street in Salt Lake. That's the main one. Oh, I guess there's one out at Camp Williams, crash near Redwood Road at Camp Williams, car off to the right. And people having trouble getting in on Hill Air Force Base this morning. A couple of gates, South Gate and West Gate, were slow due to some exercises they're doing there. A friend of the program says all lanes of southbound I-15 are stopped at North Salt Lake. That's due to that accident I was telling you about just a minute ago. Southbound I-15 center lane blocked at 23rd North exit. Major slowing back through 26 South and Bountiful. And accident hit and run 40th West, 41st South causing delays. Those all coming from friends of the program to 33986.
All right. Thank you very much. Bill Frost will be here to tell us what's on TV this week. Coming up, stand by KXRK Provo. Time is running out for you to make a film for the Radio from Hell Film Festival.
Make a film that follows the rules, and you could win a
Barberry on Twitter at RFHGina. Radio from Hell on X96.
Sponsored?
Bill Frost brought to you by experience the best parts of your own backyard at Reebok Ragnar Wasatch back June 1st and 2nd. It's an overnight team relay race that inspired a worldwide running movement. Grab 11 friends, enroll today at runragnar.com. Enter promo code X96. Receive $60 off team registration.
Here he is, Bill Frost. He's a fine TV writer for Slug magazine. You can read Bill's comments in every single issue of Slug from this day forward.
Slugmag.com.
Couple of weeks forward?
Couple
of months?
There'll be a new one coming out next week.
Okay, and this will be your second
appearance?
appearance?
It's a monthly column focused on streaming shows because no one watches real TV anymore. So it's like for the youngins, the on-demand. Because,
but I've got a whole list of the celebrity Big Brother contestants here.
Oh, really?
That, so you may want to reconsider that just streaming.
I heard Sugar Ray was in there.
Yeah,
list of celebrities that need money.
Is that the one that Omarosa is going to? Yeah. So she goes from the White House to the
celebrity Big Brother.
It's a lateral move.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, I
these
guess
days.
So.
These days.
Yeah, I guess. And of course we're going to talk a lot about the Grammys, I'm sure,
No.
because you are a musician.
No.
And you are a TV. No.
Didn't watch a second of it.
You're not very good at your job, Bill Frost.
Well, all you need to know is Bruno Mars.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Pete Hernandez.
Pete.
Yes. Pete. But Bill, you can find all things Bill Frost at
billfrost.tv. You can find the TV10 podcast there as well.
That's
and
right.
cocktail recipes.
That's exactly right.
Because that's what we do. We talk about TV and make drinks. It's
every week. What kind of now? You don't just pour whiskey into a glass.
Sometimes we do,
but you actually make cocktails.
You get a shaker out.
Tommy Milagro is a
mixologist
of sorts.
A mixologist,
amateur mixologist, and he
things
handles
can go
that.
pretty wrong.
Does he muddle things? He knows how to muddle things.
Oh yeah,
you got to know how to muddle things.
Have you ever talked to him? He knows how to muddle things.
Oh yeah. He's a champion muddler.
He is. And so, what, like for instance, a cocktail that you might have made on the show on TV10?
Oh,
no, can't think of one.
They're that good.
They're that good that I can't remember.
Say that.
Just say
watch my Instagram every week. I say, here's what we're making.
Okay.
All right.
And and you'll need something tomorrow because the State of the Union is happening.
Yeah, so that's preempting everything at
Pretty
what
much.
time? At what time?
Probably around 7, I think.
Okay.
Raise your hand if you're going to watch it.
I'll watch it.
You're gonna?
I think I will.
I'm not. I'll get the highlights in the morning from the internet. That's all I need.
Or I'll listen to it on the radio.
Oh, they're all highlights.
Only because I'm curious as to what kind of a train wreck it might be.
It's going to be the highest rated, classiest State of the Union.
I mean, it'll be boring teleprompter, Donald.
We'll see.
It'll be very scripted, but every once in a while he'll probably.
Yeah, we're hoping that he will go off the rails a little bit here.
Well, that weasel Stephen Miller is writing it for him, so remember that.
All
right. Wednesday, the season 1 finale of Happy.
It's
here already.
It's been so enjoyable.
It has been good.
Yeah.
It's a little confusing sometimes.
Can be, but
all in all, it's quite good.
I like the support group for imaginary friends. That's my favorite episode so far.
Will it be back?
Don't know yet.
So
I don't know if
it's based on a graphic novel.
Yeah, and I don't know if he ever wrote any more. I think he just wrote that one story. I don't know. Interesting.
All right.
See, I don't know if it's sustainable as a long-running series.
Well, see, what I would say is when this ends, then Happy becomes the main guy's imaginary friend.
Okay.
Because the girl is old now.
And they solve crimes.
And they solve crimes together.
Carrie's already written the
I've
show
got
in
your
his head.
Second season right there.
It can totally work.
Okay.
Coming up on Thursday, a sneak preview of a new comedy from Glenn Howerton, Dennis of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, called AP Bio.
Oh, yeah.
Also starring Patton Oswalt.
That's why I'm giving it a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays a Harvard philosophy professor who's just doesn't make the cut, and he's forced to go work at a high school and teach advanced AP Bio.
Now,
and
you say he was a Harvard philosophy professor?
Yes.
But he gets fired.
He lost out on his dream job. He
doesn't get tenure.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got edged out by someone weaseled him out of there. And so
what other choice would he have?
Yeah,
but to go teach high school.
Yeah, and so he harnesses the collective knowledge of his student body to get revenge on his former.
Well, this sounds funny.
His former college, yeah.
Oh,
they're not learning anything.
He's going after Harvard.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a revenge tale, and it's I don't know how this is going to work out. The pilot is pretty funny, but got Patton Oswalt.
That's why I'm giving it a chance.
Yeah.
The rest of the pedigree does not impress me, but I'm giving it a chance because
Yeah.
of Patton.
And then again, this will not be back until March. They're
Ah.
going to show you this on Thursday and said,
Why
wait a
would they
month.
do? What? That doesn't make any sense.
It does not.
Get hooked on something and then forget about it.
It doesn't makes no sense whatsoever.
If you, Gina, if you're hooked on it, you never forget about it.
And coming up on Friday on Amazon Prime, you've probably been wondering what happened to Castle's sidekick.
What?
On remember Castle?
Oh yeah, with Mr. Tight Pants.
Yeah, Mr. Tight Pants. Yeah,
Is that
Stana Kotick.
Oh,
she has
yeah.
a new series. She
Oh,
plays
yeah.
a cop again.
Okay.
It's called Absentia.
And
she's investigating a murder. She goes missing for 6 years, believed dead, returns, not knowing anything. Like
And is covered with tattoos.
No more
No
amnesia.
tattoos.
No more amnesia in TV
What,
shows.
Gina, what?
No more.
Give us a good accounting of how many amnesia shows you know.
The amnesia is a
They're-
cop out.
we're
That is
lousy
a
with
cop out
amnesia
plot
shows.
line. I just can't remember where he was.
Yeah, she mostly wanders around muttering
Yeah.
like that. And also a new sci-fi series on Netflix called Altered Carbon.
I've heard good things.
Based on Richard K. Morgan cyberpunk noir novel.
Mhm.
It's 300 years in the future, and death is no longer an option. You can your consciousness can be digitized. You can swap out to new bodies.
They won't let you die? They insist?
Well, they insist you don't die.
Okay.
So,
What-
Bill, I'm sorry to tell you, you'll never feel the sweet release of death you've been craving.
You're reading my mind.
The long sleep.
You're reading my mind. Yes, so what's it called?
It's called Altered Carbon.
Okay, I'll look for that.
Looks really super sci-fi.
I've heard good things from
Yes.
people who have seen a few episodes.
And when are they bringing it?
It is Friday, drops on Netflix.
Okay, Altered Carbon.
And also a new HBO series based on a podcast. You never know how these things are going to go. Two Dope Queens.
Oh, they're giving them a show?
Yeah, it's a
Oh, okay.
four-part kind of a limited series. Jessica Williams, formerly of The Daily Show.
Very funny.
And they're doing 4 one-hour specials.
Oh.
And they'll be interviewing people. First up is Jon Stewart. Yep.
He likes Jessica quite a bit.
Oh yeah,
they're quite.
And there's a Slack channel at my place of work. Clearlink. I've never mentioned the new place. Clearlink.
Is
Hello.
where you work?
Yeah. Hello,
Mhm.
people of Clearlink.
Okay.
There's a Slack channel where they're very excited about this show. They talk about podcasts.
Oh.
Mostly, I'm excited because this is the one that's not about murder that they talk about.
Murder podcasts are the best
They
podcasts.
love their murder podcasts.
I've listened to Two Dope Queens on occasion. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm just not quite sure how that's going to translate.
Nor am I.
Yeah.
Future guests include Sarah Jessica Parker.
Well, I'm not there.
Well,
You said you saw her interviewed recently and
No,
you liked her.
I said that.
Was that you?
She was on Comedians in Cars
Yeah.
Getting Coffee, and she was being a person.
And you liked
I
her.
found her charming as a
Okay.
person.
That's right. Carrie said
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I
Sorry,
didn't.
Bill. I put that on you.
Don't
I'm
put that,
sorry.
yeah.
Don't put any Sarah Jessica Parker love on me.
Yes.
Yeah. Comedic force Natalie Portman will be hosting Saturday Night Live.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
I'm glad you put it that way.
She's done it before, hasn't she?
I
Yes,
think so, yeah.
Once
I would swear
before.
she has, yeah.
Yes, she has done it once before. She's not the first Natalie to ever be on Saturday Night Live, though.
Oh, do you have
That
a
would-
list?
That would be Natalie. Yes, I do. That would
A
be
list
Natalie
of-
Merchant.
Oh.
She was the first
Also
Natalie.
humorless.
The first Natalie to ever. She didn't host, but she appeared.
Oh, that would have been good. And coming up on Sunday, Super Bowl lie. As
Oh,
always,
that's this Sunday?
This
Yeah.
Sunday, as always, I'm rooting for the Maple Leafs. That's my team every year.
But
they'll never
but
win, Bill.
Also, we have concurrent the Puppy Bowl as usual, and they're as Carrie always says, they're not real puppies.
They're not cute puppies. They're the awkward teenage puppies.
Carrie likes infant puppies.
I want little puppies. I want cute little
He
puppies.
wants puppies that trip over themselves.
And over on Hallmark, there's the Kitten Bowl.
No, are they actual kittens or are they the teenage kittens?
Yeah, they're from what I've seen, they look like real kittens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch.
I'm still holding out for the Snake Bowl.
Snake Bowl.
That's something I would watch.
Are they tiny baby snakes or are they?
Natalie Imbruglia and Natalie Maines were also
Yes.
on Saturday Night Live
Oh, wow.
before Natalie Portman ever was.
Is that from
Just
the,
a list of Natalies
the
that have been
Natalie Reddit channel?
on Saturday Night Live.
Instead of the puppy or the kitty, whatever, instead of watching the Super Bowl, go to YouTube and search for the video of the wombat that showers like a person.
It's not a
And
rat.
watch that.
And just to
It's
watch
not
that
a rat,
for 6
it's a
hours?
wombat.
Because everyone was saying it was a rat.
It's labeled as a rat. It's a wombat, really.
The wombat.
Oh, you haven't seen it? He
No.
soaps up his pits and
Yeah, he does. He showers like he's a
You
person.
haven't seen it?
See, already more interesting than the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Here, I'll tweet it so you.
Dylan, could you put that video up?
Get that video up.
Maybe can we do that during
It's
commercials?
being called the rat that showers like a human, but
Here,
it's a
I'll
wombat.
tweet it.
I can't wait.
Oh, it's great.
I can't wait.
There's your week.
Thank you, Bill.
Oh, now I've gone down the rat hole.
We
Literally.
need the traffic hole.
The wombat hole.
Crash westbound 4 South just before the I-15 ramps in Springville. The left lane is blocked. Traffic back to Main Street. UHP on the scene of the I-15 southbound crash at Beck Street in Salt Lake. Left 2 lanes are closed. Traffic back to Woods Cross. And let's see. Looks like that's about it. That's traffic.
All right.
Natalie Merchant on Saturday Night Live twice with 10,000 Maniacs. Twice.
All right.
All right. Here's your boners round 2 coming up. Boner candidate number 1, the No Lackin' Challenge. Number 2, people just don't like the word vegan. They just don't like it. And boner candidate number 3, this may be a mistake. Maybe.
All right, round 2, your boner voting coming up along with Big Boy News and Opinioendo. We'll also get to some geek news in just a bit.
I got
Stand by
some
for that.
Sluggish toilets in my house.
Sluggish? What do you mean
They're
sluggish?
you flush them and they just kind of, I mean, they do the job, but it just seems like they're sluggish.
Have Shamrock Plumbing come out
Yeah.
to your house and have a look at it.
I will. It's just like they go, oh, okay, then it goes down. You know what I mean? They're slow. Kind of worrying me.
I need to have Shamrock look at my wife's toilet. It does that. I think it's got a leaky flapper. You know, the flap?
Yeah.
The thing?
Yes, I know what you mean.
But the thing with Shamrock Plumbing is you can describe it like that, Carrie, and they'll know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, the thing.
Yeah.
Shamrock Plumbing, by the way, they do water heaters, water softeners, and water purification systems. Any size, any quality, nobody will beat Shamrock's pricing, guaranteed. Call Shamrock Plumbing for pricing before you buy a water heater or softener anywhere. They have an entire department dedicated solely to water heaters and water softeners. So, Shamrock Plumbing, 801-295-1690 is the number, or go to shamrockplumbing.net. Hi, it's me.
96.
All right, 8:20 right now. Time for round 2 of your Boehner voting. 3 news stories that are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. And you will decide of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst, which one deserves to go forward to Boehner fight. Get a 50-50 chance of becoming Boehner of the day. It'll go up against the winner of round 1. Boehner fight happens at 9:20. So 2 candidates now, then a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random Boehner voters will receive.
See Bill Allred walking around the streets? Say, Bill.
It's happening more and more every day.
I was a random Boehner voter. I'm here for my hearty handshake.
It happens every day now,
Mhm.
and I'm happy to do it. But when I say a hearty handshake, don't you let go until I let go.
Is there a rule of who?
Yes.
Isn't it whoever initiates the handshake? Let's go.
Gina, this is my.
Okay.
Don't pretend you know anything about handshakes. This is my handshake. I am offering it to people as a gift. It's my say as to how it should be handled, and here's how it should be handled. You continue shaking my hand until I'm the one who obviously lets go.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm strictly a 2-pump release. That's it.
How does that work? Let me see.
Just like this.
Let's see. So we shake hands with this.
1, 2.
That's
release. 1, 2, release.
Really? Is that what you do?
That's 1, 2. You're done.
That's my sign off today, by the way.
I don't like that.
You're done.
It's dismissive.
You've accomplished
It's dismissive. I don't like
done.
that.
You got it in. You got 2 pumps in. That's good. Boom.
I like it.
I bet you wouldn't. All right, let's move on. Here's Boehner candidate number 1, the No Lackin' Challenge. I just love these internet things, these challenges, like the Tide Pod Challenge. Now we have the No Lackin' Challenge.
What is this?
Well, the No Lackin' Challenge is where, and you do it on the videos because you want it to go viral, is where 2 guys, it's always guys it seems like, gets together and you pull guns on each other. You pull guns on each other.
You draw?
Yeah,
and then what?
Well, that's it.
That's all.
Nobody's supposed to pull the trigger.
Okay, you just.
Yeah, but
all right.
Over the weekend, 21-year-old Sherman Lackland was doing the No Lackin' Challenge with somebody, and he pulled the trigger of his .40 caliber handgun, and he shot in the head his challenger, a 17-year-old boy. The No Lackin' Challenge. The pair were seated at a booth at E's Cafe in Memphis. So you do it like in a public place too. And so they're sitting at the booth, and then you're supposed to pull your guns out from under the table, and then you go ha, and then you put them away. There was a loud bang, and I see the guy across from Lackland fall on the floor, said witness Thomas Fitzpatrick. It's not supposed to end that way, he said. Lackland was arrested on charges of aggravated assault, reckless endangerment, unlawful possession of a weapon. The guy is not dead. The victim is not dead. He's in the hospital in critical condition, but Mr. Lackland maybe ended up charged with murder if he doesn't make it. The No Lackin' Challenge, Boehner candidate number 2. I wonder if he'll be charged. He'd probably be charged with murder in the 2nd degree or maybe manslaughter.
Yeah.
Because the other guy was involved.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a surprise.
Yeah. Well, yes, it was a surprise.
I mean,
it was a surprise,
they
Gina.
had agreed to.
Well, you do the No Lackin' Challenge. I don't know if they'd agreed, but when one guy pulls his gun, you pull your gun. If you're buddies, well, Hayward, somebody will film it and we're doing the No Lackin' Challenge. Here's Boehner candidate number 2. People just don't like the word vegan. Kate Alice has taken her special diet to the extreme. She has tattooed the word vegan on her forehead. And despite the harsh backlash she has received,
she's surprised
on social media. Kate says she regrets nothing. She's proud of the tattoo. She is unfazed by the harsh comments she has had on Twitter.
Here's the thing about vegans.
Okay.
You're never
take notes because Gina, she knows
you're
about
never
this stuff.
unclear that someone is a vegan. They let you know. You don't need it tattooed on your forehead.
This way the waiter won't ask anymore.
They are not shy of telling you they're vegan. Are there any secret vegans out there? I don't think so. I think if you're a vegan, you talk about it.
Extreme tattoos being all the rage, people were quick to respond to criticize her online. One Twitter user branded her a freak and questioned why on earth she decided to get the tattoo on her face. Kate responded by telling the person, I chose to get this tattoo as I am incredibly passionate about veganism, and I know I'll be vegan for life. Of course, the tattoo on my face has received a lot of negative reactions. People seem to get upset when they see the word vegan.
This is helpful. If you're a waiter, if you're a waiter at a restaurant,
no, Carrie, because my guess is she still talks about it all the time. Well, it's not like she put it on her forehead so no one would ever talk to her about it.
My problem is she doesn't think the face tattoo is so much of a problem as the word vegan. People are upset by this, she said, because they don't like the word vegan.
No, that's not it.
Well, that's what she said. I think the reason people are upset is she's a moron. Oh, but she is vegan. Boehner candidate number 2. People just don't like the word vegan. Coming up in a moment, Boehner candidate number 3. Well, this may be a mistake.
Boehner candidate number 3 coming up after this here, a Big Boy News and Opinioendo. Brought to you by
Utah Presents brings Scott Sylvan, renowned illusionist, mentalist, performance artist.
I'm going.
On February 10th at Kingsbury Hall. Are you?
Yeah.
You're going to?
Yeah.
Tickets are at utahpresents.org.
I thought my son would like it. My little Bill, I thought, would really like it. And apparently he's a mentalist and illusionist, but he does kind of in a big elaborate stage show. So I'll let you know. But it sounds kind of cool. What you need to know about the Grammys? Mm-hmm. Bruno Mars.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you need.
That's really all you need. Oh, and
what about Hillary? You going to mention Hillary?
Yeah. You know, again, how stupid are the Grammys? I mean, it's just, so she reads passages from Fire and Fury, and I guess a couple of other people did too, reading passages from Fire and Fury.
It was a video. She wasn't there. It was recorded.
And I guess, as I gathered, and I just didn't even want to think about it or even hear about it, but as I gathered, the point was maybe they were auditioning to do an audiobook of Fire and Fury. Was that the idea?
Yeah.
Because that's a
Spoken
category.
word.
Spoken word, yeah. Mm-hmm. Funny. Charles Manson, his remains. You know, he's still on ice.
This is like a Casey Kasem thing, where people are fighting over what to do with.
The body of murdered mastermind Charles Manson was barely cold when competing bids began for his remains.
There he is.
And his belongings. He's at x96.com/live.
Yep.
This is not long before he died, this photo.
Now, I don't know that they care so much about the body, but the belongings thing, because you could sell that stuff. That's why you want that.
The value of Manson's belongings, said to include music, artwork, writings, and at least 2 guitars, is unclear. But probate attorney said the real value of his estate could be in controlling the use of his image and the power to authorize any biographies or documentaries. Can you imagine if you were the person who had control of Charles Manson's image? You know, like the
T-shirts.
The Elvis Presley estate has control of that. Or like the Charles Schultz characters, people who have control of those, of Snoopy and all of that. Think of the ad possibilities. You could use Charles Manson's, like if you were an insurance company and you could have Manson's face.
Oh, that's an excellent campaign.
Or so maybe a food product of some sort. Or
are you actually suggesting that it wouldn't make money?
No, Gina.
Okay.
What I'm doing is no. I'm just saying
that
absurd uses
that
for
Quentin Tarantino movie that he's doing.
Yeah.
Would that count as getting money from that? Would you have to get permission to?
I don't. No, not in that case. No.
No. It's going to be a real food fight, said probate attorney Adam Streisand, who is not involved in the Manson case but was involved with Michael Jackson's estate and currently is representing the estate of Hugh Hefner. You have to sort of worry about creating a monument that becomes a focal point for people to exercise their extremist views. And that's part of what they're worried about with this in there. And there are people who are trying to be careful with it because they say, we don't want Manson to become a cult figure, to continue to be a cult figure that people want.
Who's going to benefit from people's deaths?
Worship.
Who's going to... How would you feel about benefiting from people's deaths? If any money's made from that, shouldn't it go to the victims' families or victims' rights groups or something like that?
Yeah, but just think for I'm Charles. Have Charles Manson, and he's selling shoes or something.
Well, there already is a group here I'm reading about called the Atomwaffen Division.
Mm-hmm.
A Charles Manson-obsessed neo-Nazi outfit defines itself as the Revolutionary National Socialist Organization. They got a suspect in 5 killings who's connected to this group.
This is a really interesting story. I just popped up. I hadn't seen it until just now. Josh and Lolly Weed. They were held up as proof, as an example that a gay man and a straight woman could make a successful Mormon marriage.
Mm-hmm.
They've announced their divorce.
Oops.
And in that same blog post where they announced their divorce, they apologized to the LGBTQ community.
Nice.
Today, we need to let you know that Lolly and I are divorcing, the blog said this week, after recounting the couple's accidental rise to the media spotlight when Josh Weed came out as a gay LDS man who was faithful to his church and married to a woman. They were in high demand to explain how they made this seemingly contradictory lifestyles work together. The couple wrote together and then individually that they had come to understand over time that their deep platonic love was not a substitute for romantic love. No. And that such a relationship is vital to everyone's happiness. Lolly Weed wrote, and that is what human beings need to be healthy. All of us, a romantic attachment. It's one of the main purposes of life. They explain at length how they came to the realization. Josh said 3 factors led him to believe this was the case: love for the LGBTQ population, love for himself as a gay person, and the death of his mother had a lot to do with it. Now, this couple, they became well known particularly in Mormon circles. People saying, "See, look, you can take those feelings of homosexuality, and you can." You don't have to act on them, and as a matter of fact, you can marry someone of the opposite sex and be happy. There's a picture of Josh and Lolly Weed here with their 3 adorable children.
Because that's one of the big problems that people have with the church's stance on LGBTQ issues is you can't make it to that highest level unless you're married. So
unless you're married within the confines of the Mormon Church. That's
so
not
the
a good
only
way to
do that
a temple
is,
marriage.
The only way to do that is if you say, yes, I'm gay and have these feelings, but I'm going to marry somebody, and that's wrong.
And I think they had a temple marriage, Josh and Lolly Weed.
That's wrong.
The one thing about this is they obviously did and do care for each other a great deal. And they have lovely children in this picture, these 3 little girls. And I would think that they could probably still have a great relationship in their divorce.
I'm sure they will.
And I hope that Josh is a happier person for this, and that Lolly is really ultimately a happier person for it as well. And you don't have to, pretend that things are some way that they're not. Of course, many people do that in their marriages anyway. And
everything's fine.
Everything's fine. We're fine. Let's see. Hogle Zoo workers are searching for a very shy missing animal.
Huh?
It's a Pallas cat, Pallas. I think if we have a picture of it at x96.com. Mishu, a young Pallas cat, looks kind of like a bobcat, or has caused a little mischief at the Hogle Zoo. The 10-month-old cat, described as very shy and very reserved, was discovered missing. Was discovered missing. That seems wrong, doesn't it?
I've discovered that you're missing.
Yeah. Look, we've made a great discovery. You aren't here anymore. From his outdoor exhibit Sunday morning, zoo officials say that Mishu isn't dangerous. He is smaller than most domesticated cats, as a matter of fact. They suspect he probably hasn't left the zoo grounds, but the zoo has called all hands on deck to find and safely recapture the 8-pound cat. So there are house cats that are bigger. There's Mishu.
There he is.
I don't think that's Mishu. I think that's an example.
It's an example.
Well, he looks
of a Pallas cat.
mean.
Because the picture that was accompanying the Pallas cat, is that actually Mishu? No. Dylan says no. Yeah, Mishu's looking at the camera going, "Don't hurt me." That guy was all puffed up and trying to be mean.
He didn't look that small.
It's like my cat, Klaus, with the goopy eye.
Mm-hmm.
Very shy, has never, ever gotten over, he must have been feral at some point in his life, early life, and afraid of everything. Now, he likes being in our house, and he likes being with us, but he's still scared of everything. And like if you pet him, and he loves it, and he'll purr, and he'll jump up in a certain place, but then it becomes too much. It becomes too much.
Overstimulated.
And he runs away and hides. And the couple of times that he's gotten out of the house, he doesn't really want to go out of the house, but he's gotten out. There's some little baby palace cats. Look at those.
X96.com/live.
Very cute. But he'll not leave he'll hide somewhere very close to the back door, and it's hard to find him. And then finally you'll hear. That's him right there. That's how he sounds. But it's really low. You go, is that Klaus? Where are you, Klaus? And all he wants to do is come back in the house. But if you try to catch him, he resists. It's weird.
Sports, climate change, traffic?
All of that. So Tiger Woods, he's still playing golf, Bill. I know you thought he was done.
He is done.
But he was at the Farmers Insurance Open on Sunday.
But by done, I meant I don't think he's ever going to be a big force in golf again.
Well, not if people do this to him. So he's getting ready to putt. And he, swings back. And before he connects with the ball, somebody from the gallery yells, "Get in the hole!" As he's swinging.
What?
Get in the hole!
Yeah. Why did they...
I mean,
it's distracting when you're trying to.
Is he trying? Are they trying to distract
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think, or maybe he was trying to help him, but you yell that after he connects with it and the ball's rolling. Then you yell at the ball to get in the hole.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. If you're going to yell at the golf match.
Yeah, that's sports. Climate change update. It's very climate changey this week, which means the air is going to get nice and dirty. And the temperatures are going to be warm, and your yard's going to be all muddy because the snow will melt.
All this porn in the air.
Yeah.
Smutty.
53 for a high today, 57 tomorrow, and that's just wrong. Crash northbound I-15 at Pleasant Grove in Utah County. Cars are blocking both shoulders there. Crash on the frontage road just south of the 201 freeway at 3200 West. The right lane is blocked there. Crash westbound 4 South just before the I-15 ramps in Springville. And still some slowage Beck Street in Salt Lake due to an earlier crash there. That's traffic.
All right, here's Boehner candidate number 3. This must be a mistake. That's all I can figure. It must be some sort of... See, the Egyptian military, who controls the government, essentially, they run the country of Egypt right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Egyptian military admitted Monday that maybe it made a mistake when one of its courts sentenced a 4-year-old boy to life in prison for murder.
That could be.
Might have been. Is there a mix-up here? Last week, the mix-up was connected to the boy's name, Ahmed Mansour Kurani Ali, which is very similar to a 16-year-old who should have received the sentence. Military spokesman Colonel Mohammed Samir said. Samir wrote on a Facebook post. Yes, the Egyptian military Facebooks, that Ahmed Mansour Kurani Sahara was the real suspect. It is unclear what will happen to that kid, the 16-year-old. Ahmed was convicted of 4 counts of murder and 8 counts of attempted murder and sentenced along with more than 115 others in connection with a pro-Muslim Brother riot targeting military intelligence. Now, this little kid, the 4-year-old child, his father said, "Officers knocked on my door and asked me to hand over my 4-year-old. When I refused, they took me to the police station. I said, look, he's 4. How could you're accused? You think he's committed some murders? Look, he's 4. Egyptian military, we don't care. Bring him. Come on down to the station. This is our suspect. It's him.
Maybe we overstepped.
You know, here in this country, even in places that are...
I don't think that would happen.
No, I think you would say...
maybe we got the wrong...
There's probably a mistake
Yeah.
here, but no, they hauled him. You know, there are pictures of the little kid at the police station holding a microphone, it's like a TV, because I think that there are some local...
There's
some local TV reporters there who are going, look who's running the country right now. These guys. Boehner candidate number 3. This may be a mistake.
All right, so let's review the first two and vote.
Boehner candidate number 1, the No Lackin' Challenge. It's a moronic social media challenge where you're supposed to show you're not lacking in courage. That's what it is. The No Lackin' Challenge. You both pull your guns on each other at the same time, and but you're not supposed to shoot. But one guy did and shot his buddy in the head. Boehner candidate number 2. People just don't like the word vegan. This is a young woman in Britain who tattooed the word vegan on her forehead. She says people seem to think it's very disgusting and not right. It's mainly because they don't like the word vegan, she says. And Boehner candidate number 3, this may be a mistake.
All right, let's do it. This is round 2 of your Boehner voting. You've got to decide which of these 3 candidates is the worst, and therefore most qualified to go forward to Boehner Dome for Boehner Fight and possibly become Boehner of the Day. It's got a 50-50 chance if it wins here. Boehner Fight at 9:20. That's when it's decided. So 1, 2, or 3. You decide the candidate number, put it in the message of the text, and text it to 33986. You can call 877-602-9696 or go to x96.com and look for the box that says January 29 Boehner Votes or whatever it's called now. I don't know. You've only got 3.5 minutes to do that, though, so let's go. It's round 2.
Richie called me last night to ask if he should have said something. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was a little.
You had that little panic look on your face.
Yeah.
He called me. He'd said something yesterday to management, and we won't go into what that was.
Okay.
But he called me and asked me. He told me what he said, and then he said, "Do you think I should have done that?" Now,
well,
when
you ask that question,
you should probably already know the answer,
it
right?
It means, you shouldn't have asked.
But I think you didn't care for my response.
Well, no, because you actually told me honestly. Most of the time, you just tell me, I don't care, or it doesn't matter, or, whatever you choose is the best decision for you. Bill always gives me those vague, parental answers. So I go, okay, perfect. I can justify it in my mind and move on.
And when I say that, I mean that.
Sure.
Because it doesn't matter in the long run. Just make a choice and go with that.
Mm-hmm.
But what he called me about last night, I said, yeah, probably not. probably shouldn't have done that.
Well, now I'm curious as to what
I'll
it
tell
is.
you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you off the air. But you shouldn't have done that. And now that you have, there's nothing you can do about it. So I would just...
Well, and since that conversation, I received communication back, and the dust is settled, and it's fine.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh,
good.
Okay. So, but was it the thing you were telling me about?
About this morning, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, you probably... That seemed awfully ballsy. But is that the new Richie? Is that the I'm standing up to...
yeah, a little bit.
But it just seemed to... And as I said to him, there are certain positions worth taking and certain positions not worth taking.
It's the pick your battles.
Yeah, you got to just... And this was the wrong battle to pick.
Right.
And then I said, and if you don't like it here, just get out.
Well, and that's all because you're not used to standing up for yourself. You're learning.
Right, I'm getting there.
Well, it's hard to do.
It's hard to do because the other part of Richie, and you guys have never seen this, the other part of Richie used to have
the gay part.
No, that's
the
part.
You've
seen
we
the
have
gay
seen.
part.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The really bad temper, and
the
raging. Oh yeah.
Huh.
For a long time in my early teen years, it was everything would set me off, and just
Did you get in fights with people?
More verbal, but just, terribly abusive language coming from me
Really?
towards people. Swearing at my mom and not running away, but, that kind of kid running away that you do. And the whole deal. And,
Slamming doors.
Yeah,
You were a
slamming
door slammer.
Oh, yeah.
Big
And
door
I
slammer.
hate you.
Yeah,
And
big door slammer.
all that stuff. And then...
How did you get rid of that?
I just decided it's not who I wanted to be anymore. But sometimes it comes back a little bit. Is he on the...
He might be. Oh, there we go. Yeah. There he is.
I was full of rage one time in my life. Oh, hello.
All right, it's 8:46 right now. Time to award round 2 of your boner voting.
And round 2 of the boner voting is brought to you in part by Baked Ziti.
Isn't it always hugging Ziti? Always?
Yeah. What?
And
no hugging Ziti?
And don't miss out on another spectacular season of the best attended college women's athletic program in the nation with the University of Utah Gymnastics team. Join the 9,000 plus season ticket holders as the 2018 Utes Gymnastic team fights for another season of excellence on the road to the NCAA championships. For tickets, you can go to UtahUtes.com. And I believe we have a lucky winner that got a pair of tickets to the meet against Washington on Saturday, February 3rd at the Huntsman Center.
We do.
Yeah?
You know who it was?
Who?
Get ready. Josh.
Josh.
Gary?
Josh.
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
Taking care of something here, sorry.
There's boner candidate number 1, the No Lacking Challenge, moronic YouTube challenge. Pull your gun on your buddy pulls his gun on you. You're not supposed to pull the trigger, but one did, and one got shot in the head, and they're thinning the herd. Boner candidate number 2, people just don't like the word vegan. A woman who says she's gotten a lot of criticism for tattooing the word vegan on her forehead. She said, I regret nothing, and it's not so much that it's a forehead tattoo, it's the word vegan that people don't care for.
Not really.
That's not it.
And then there was boner candidate number 3. This may be a mistake. A 4-year-old Egyptian kid sentenced to life in prison for murder. They took him down to the station. There's a cute little picture of him there, I think in the police station, and he's holding a microphone from some news outlet or something. There it is, x96.com.
There's your murderer.
Man, look at that face.
I can spot a guilty kid a mile away.
You can tell that chubby little 4-year-old Egyptian has murdered people. No, the Egyptian military finally has to admit, maybe this was a mistake. Let's see. As we said, Josh won the tickets to the gymnastics meet, and the winner of the boner voting was number 3. This may be a mistake.
All right, good choice. That one goes up against the winner of round 1. It might be boner of the day. It has a 50-50 chance. Boner fight happens at 9:20. That's when you decide. Sponsor?
Geek News on the Radio is always brought to you by Cabin Fever, welcoming new lines for the new year. Cabin Fever is your go-to shop for laughter, kitschy memories, creative, fun merchandise located in the heart of Trolley Square, 5th South, 7th East. Cabin Fever, so much more than a card store.
So much more. Man, they got candy.
Brand new episode of GeekShowPodcast.com available now. It's called Ketamine Free.
That's good.
Shouldn't everything be ketamine free?
Yes. Well, unless you're an animal that needs to be sedated.
Or not. Let's see. So here's your assignment, because, again, we know you don't work at work. You just sit and watch videos at work. 2 videos that you're assigned today. First of all, the rat that showers like a human.
Yeah.
But
that's great.
Secondly, this debuted last week, but it's just kind of cool. It's the new Pacific Rim 2 trailer.
Into a world.
They're doing another one of those?
Oh, yeah.
Between the monsters that destroyed our cities and the monsters we created to stop them.
That's John Boyega
Sacrificed.
using his real accent.
So are they going to try and make it a good movie this time?
It's just beginning.
It was popular with enough people.
Was it?
That, and they're pretty passionate about it, that they made a second one. This one, John Boyega plays Idris Elba's son. Of course, you remember Idris Elba's name in the first one was Stacker Pentecost.
That's not a name of a real person.
So to make up for that, he named his kid Jake. So
Pentecost?
Jake Pentecost. So he's part of the program of the big robots that fight the monsters, you know.
So where did we leave the first movie?
The hole was closed, so no more monsters could come.
Uh-oh.
The way I understood it.
Yeah.
But they found a way to open the hole again.
That's a Charlie Hummin.
Yeah, and so they need more giant robots to fight the monsters.
So is Charlie Hummin in it?
Which one is he? Is he the good-looking one?
Yeah, the blonde guy.
I know he's not. The other guy from It's Always Sunny is in it. But I think he's in Always. I don't know. Anyway, it's giant robots fighting giant monsters.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need for your lunch. You know, as you're.
He's pretty big.
Yeah, he is. He's
Gary,
a big robot.
can you explain something to me? And maybe you have this coming up in your news.
Yeah.
The Captain Marvel costume color controversy.
I wasn't going to address it because it's not a controversy.
Well, but can you explain it to me? Because I don't
All right.
get what the big deal is.
Captain Marvel's current costume.
A girl?
She has gone through several. Her current costume is red, yellow, and blue.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The costume that she's wearing in the production pictures that were taken is blue and green. Now, if you're a Captain Marvel fan, you know that Captain Marvel has appeared in many iterations, including Marvel, who is a Kree warrior, and that was his costume.
A Kree Indian?
A Kree alien.
Different Kree.
Oh,
Different Kree.
This is K, not C.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kree.
All right.
Blue guy. Yeah, so that costume is hearkening back to this classic run that Peter David did on Captain Marvel.
Okay.
That's that costume.
So does that tell you what the storyline is going to be then?
No.
Based on that? No.
Has Captain Marvel always been a girl?
No.
That's what I thought.
No. Captain Marvel's been 2 or 3, 4 different people. Yeah.
It's a job that can be filled.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I was going to get into this. There's a whole Shape of Water lawsuit happening.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just there's too much to get into.
Did we
it
talk
here.
about this a little bit on
off the air?
We did off the air. But
Yeah,
you can look it up.
It's a guy who wrote a play. Now, he wrote one really famous play called The Effect of Gamma Rays on the Man in the Moon Marigolds.
Yeah.
But he wrote a play that was very similar.
It's a one-act play, and he's claiming that his estate is claiming that it's too much like A Shape of Water. But on the current episode of Geek Show, we run down several stories that he should be also suing, including Free Willy. But anyway.
So you know what will happen? Because there are enough similarities that somebody will pay, the movie company will pay him a little bit of money.
The website that is pointing out all the similarities is the guy's wife's website. So it's just, it just seems like a cash grab.
Well,
let's
they'll
see.
get some money.
Let's see. Now, I saw when I was in Florida at the Star Wars shops where you could buy stuff. They were selling T-shirts that had the Han Solo movie. It was just the logo. It said Solo, a Star Wars story.
Oh, this is the upcoming movie.
It's in May. And here's the thing: is that you remember a few weeks ago I told you the story about how Star Wars was not doing well in China. It's the second largest movie market. They got to figure out how to make that work. So here we come with Han Solo, a Star Wars story, and they're not quite sure what to do.
Yeah.
Well, they changed the name
to
Ranger Solo, which translated means smuggler, renegade, hotshot pilot.
Okay, well, all right.
So it's Ranger
Why
Solo.
can't it just be Solo?
It won't hurt it.
It won't hurt it.
Won't hurt it here.
They
Might
just
help
don't-
it there.
They don't understand.
Let's see. I only bring this up because it's, I think, notable. Dan Slott has been writing.
Who?
Dan Slott has been writing Spider-Man, the comic book,
Okay.
for 10 years now. and he is now leaving Spider-Man on issue 801, but he's going to be writing Iron Man instead. I just thought that was of note because he wrote it for so long.
Yeah. Is issue 801, does that mean there have been like 801 comic books?
Oh, I'm sure there's been more than that.
Well, that's what I thought.
Because they do relaunches and things like that all the time. Great jobs. Economy's doing great.
Why is this in Geek News?
Toys R Us
Oh, okay.
is closing 182 U.S. locations.
Because you just order stuff.
What's going to happen to, what's his name, the giraffe?
I want Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
I want this thing,
but
and
you-
I want it brought to my house.
But you never understood the fun of getting together with your friends and hitting each Toys R Us looking for the Prince Shizor figure or whatever it
No,
was.
you sit home on your computer and then you text your friends, "Hey, I just ordered the."
Look what I found online.
We used to go on.
We don't even have to get together.
We used to go on toy runs all the time.
I don't really like you anyway.
But two here in Utah closing, the one in Ogden on Riverdale Road and the one on Midvale, Fort Union Boulevard.
I have kids.
That one on Sugar House has been closed for a long time.
I have kids, and I haven't been to a Toys R Us in years.
Well, that's because you don't get them real toys.
Yeah, I do.
You get
I
them
order them
educational
online.
toys.
Finally, this. Rian Johnson, the director of The Last Jedi, Star Wars, been taking heat from people who just didn't like his movie.
Tough.
Which I don't. I liked it fine. I liked that it was different. I didn't want the same old thing. Well, you know who else is piling on?
Who?
Stormy Daniels.
Damn her.
What does she have to do with?
She tweeted, "Steaming pile of S, Last Jedi. Go ahead and unfollow me. In case no one has noticed, I don't give a F. It's the worst movie ever made."
You tell him, Stormy.
She's a porn star.
Yeah.
Go get him, girl.
And Rian Johnson can drop dead. Oh, the technical aspects, the effects, camera angles, sound design were very well done. That was Rian. And then she tweeted finally, "F you, Rian Johnson." Rian Johnson replied.
He replied. He
did?
He deigned to reply.
Oh, listen, if Stormy Daniels were to come after me with tweets, I would reply, you bet.
He replied simply with one emoji.
Yeah? Let's see.
The smiley face with stars for eyes.
Aww.
That's funny.
That's all he
Good
had
for him.
to say. There you go.
Crash northbound I-15 at milepost 274 in Linden. The 3 left lanes are closed there. Crash southbound I-15 milepost 284. That's SR92 exit Utah County on the left shoulder. Gosh, Utah County having a bunch of issues today. Crash northbound I-15 Pleasant Grove Boulevard in Utah County. Left shoulder there. Crash westbound South Frontage Road at 3200 West. And looks like that's about it. That's traffic.
You know, I don't have stars for eyes, so I'm gonna have. I had to go to Hoops Vision because if I had, it's not a good.
Lasers for eyes?
Yeah,
there's no emoji for that.
No,
There's no
but
emoji for that.
there ought to be an emoji for Dr. Hoops, senior and junior. They are terrific surgeons. Laser eye. Now, Philip Jr. Pretty much handles mostly the cataract procedures and things like that. They do very. Good work there.
He did my cataract.
Yeah. And so go to Hoops Vision for whatever you need for eye surgery, but particularly check out their smile procedure. The smile procedure makes it easier for people to get laser eye surgery and get rid of their glasses and their contact lenses. More people than ever before can do that. Now, if you're ready to learn more about laser, we've talked about it for so many years, but really, there's still people out there who just kind of vacillate about it. Well, stop it. Get off the fence and call Hoops Vision, 877-30-LASIK. Or you can go to their website, hoopsvision.com, 24 months, 0 interest, see clearly guarantee at Hoops Vision.
This is very important.
X96 is your home for non-stop music. We give you a 1-hour non-stop music wingding 3 times a day.
Nobody around here has been eating lead paint chips.
At 10 a.m., right after Radio from Hell, at 1 p.m. while you're listening in the workplace, and at 4:30 for your drive home.
Doesn't make much sense to me either.
1-hour non-stop music wingdings 3 times a day at 10, 1, and 4:30.
I am not impressed.
Only on X96.
Have you been...
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! Today, we join our elders as they are about to encounter the Borg for the second time.
Man, these Borg ships sure are sparsely decorated and poorly lit.
Well, I sure hope we get to spend more time with the Borg this time. I mean, last time we didn't even get to the first discussion.
I am 5 of 7. I am here to show you the way.
Hey, that's why we're here too.
Hello, Mr. 5 of 7. We met your cousin 3 of 7 last time. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know.
The Mormons. Yes, your exploits are known throughout the collective.
Hey, Lehigh, we're famous, huh?
All Borg are one. Whatever one experiences becomes available to all.
Well, that would speed up fast and testimony meetings. Say, where are you taking us?
To her chambers. She is expecting you.
I don't like the sound of that.
Welcome, elders. I have been anticipating your arrival.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Lehigh, and he's Butch.
Hi.
I have wonderful plans for you boys. Together we will rule over the perfect Borg galaxy.
Well, I hope this can wait until after our mission is over.
Ma'am, who exactly are you, and why do you have plans for us?
I am the Borg.
Well, I thought they were the Borg.
They are, and I am. And once we assimilate you two, you will be Borg as well.
Oh, I get it. He's a Borg, she's a Borg. Everywhere a Borg, old MacDonald had a Borg.
Knock it off, Butch. We better come up with a plan quick or we're going to be assimilated.
Okay, Ms. Borg, tell you what. I'll give you my new fender flares and the luggage rack off of Lehigh's bike, and we'll just be on our way.
You will look cute in black rubber suits, and I have picked out some special prosthetic parts for each of you. Soon you will be my lieutenants, my consorts, my special friends. Together we will assimilate the Federation, then the Romulans, then the Cardassians, and then whoever else we can find. And we will have fun doing it. Hook them to the assimilator.
Hey, come on, let us go!
Nothing like the assimilation of new young men to make one forget about how Locutus left me without saying goodbye.
Something is wrong. The assimilation process has failed. They have already been assimilated by a stronger force than the Borg.
Quick, shut down the machinery. The feedback could contaminate the collective. What have you done to my beloved collective?
Well, once you hooked us up to that gizmo over there, all of our experiences were spread throughout the entire Borg race.
Lehigh and I were able to bear our testimonies to more than 7 billion beings at one time.
It was kind of like General Conference, except without the crying babies and the old people going to sleep.
Yeah.
We not only got to give the first discussion to the Borg, but to pretty much teach the whole gospel to all of them at once. Could it be? Have the Borg finally met their match? Could Butch and Lehigh be immune to the assimilation process? Tune in next time to hear the Borg say...
I am Elder 5 of 7, and this is my companion 4 of 9. We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know, the Mormons.
No! You've turned the most feared race in the galaxy into a bunch of jello-loving, suburban-driving moral goody-goodies.
Well, you think that people were afraid of you before. Wait until you start approaching planets now. Man, I'd hate to play word ball against these guys.
I think our work here is done. Hey, can we count all 7 billion as converts?
Well, technically we didn't baptize them. We'll have to check with Zone Leader Hansen just to be sure.
What about me? I was queen. I was the most powerful being in the galaxy, ruler of an entire race of warriors. What am I supposed to do now?
Well, I guess you are now the most powerful Relief Society president in the galaxy. Congratulations. Gotta go.
Bye-bye, sister.
On the next artificial limb-attaching episode of Space Elders!
I'd say that's award-winning music.
Why is that Bruno Mars?
I love that Dave Grohl so much. So that song, Run, Foo Fighters won Best Rock Song at the Grammys. You might have missed it, though, because it didn't happen on the TV.
That's because Bruno Mars was on.
Best Rock Song happens, earlier in the day when they give away, Best Opera Performance.
The technical
and
awards. Breast what?
Breast.
That's because your beloved Bruno Mars was on, winning 6 awards.
I bought tickets to go see the Foo Fighters again in Seattle. This is where I tell you in September I'll miss a little work to go.
I never do that, you said the other day.
September, you got time to. But because we had to leave the concert early here, I want to go see the whole thing, all 3 hours of it. So we're going to go to Seattle and see it. I'm excited.
What? I thought you'd want to go see Bruno Mars.
I do want to see. I like Bruno Mars too. I can like other things.
Pete Hernandez, I mean. That's his real name,
He's as giddy about finding that out as giddy as you were about finding out that Marilyn Manson's name was Brian Warner.
Brian Warner.
I remember you were giddy about that.
Was she? I don't know.
Oh, she was just thrilled. And now he's just as thrilled as you finding out about Bruno Mars.
It's exciting.
Yes.
We have a giveaway here. And you want to learn how to cook? Radio from Hell has your chance to win a $150 cooking class certificate and be qualified to win a $1,000 scholarship, all from Park City Culinary Institute. Now, one of the ways you can win is go to x96.com. There's some chances to win there.
So if you want to go to cooking school, this would be a great way to get started with that.
Or from us right now, you can win a $150 cooking class gift certificate, and then you'll be entered into a drawing for the $1,000
Okay,
one.
call 877-602-9696 and be the first person to be able to answer this tough cooking question.
Okay.
Besides red wine, what is the main ingredient in beef bourguignon? So besides red wine, what would be the main ingredient in beef bourguignon?
All right.
877-602-9696. First person who could answer that tough question.
They also do those single classes, too.
Yeah.
Where you can just learn how to do one thing.
Yeah.
You could use your gift certificate to that.
Yeah,
Or you could get they sell really nice pots and pans and supplies and stuff.
Oh, that's right. They have really good cooking equipment there.
So you could get that.
Yeah. Park City Culinary Institute. Yeah.
Whatever you want with your gift certificate. All right. I don't know. Did you stump people with that one? No, they're calling it.
No.
Okay.
That's a tough question.
Kind of concerned there for a moment.
It's a cooking question.
All right. We got Boehner fight coming up in a few moments. We'll find out who Boehner of the day is with that. And let's see. We got before that, a little bit of news.
And if you want to find a nice gift for someone, or maybe for yourself, go to Diamonds Direct.
You didn't get what you wanted for Christmas? You got some Christmas cash or something?
Or Valentine's Day is coming up.
And then there's that.
Valentine's.
My anniversary's coming up.
Take it to a whole new level. Take your anniversary to a whole. I think you need to take your anniversary to a whole new level. Gina, you haven't gotten enough love from your husband over the years.
No, I get too much.
I
should buy him something is what I should do.
Don't do that. Diamonds Direct. It makes finding the perfect Valentine's gift easy. And with a financing offer that they have, you can really afford to go big and get a really great piece of jewelry that has lasting value. So February 5th through the 14th, 10 days only. Got time to plan here. Diamonds Direct will offer this. If you're thinking about getting engaged, let's see. I'm trying to see where the exact financing offer is here.
Well, you can just go into Diamonds Direct. They're right there, just south of the Fashion Place Mall, and you can talk to them about it.
It's right at the top of the copy, which confused me. 5 years, 0 interest financing. 5 years. So on any Valentine's purchase at Diamonds Direct or any engagement ring, it's a good time to get married. People do it all the time. Mm-hmm. So Diamonds Direct, beautiful showroom. They're located at 6400 South, right across from Fashion Place Mall.
Time is running out for you to make a film for the Radio from Hell Film Festival.
Make a film that follows the rules, and you could win $1,000.
Here's the rules. Include a flag of the United States of America in your film.
Include the phrase, in your area.
And then make your film, please make your film 5 minutes or less, please.
Turn your film in by February 12th at 5 p.m.
Complete contest rules and submission regulations are available at x96.com.
Make your film now, before it's too late.
Did I say? I haven't dyed my goatee.
Don't. Looks
Well,
stupid.
I'm not going to. You, however, Gina, should.
Dye my goatee?
I think
Is
so.
it embarrassing?
It is. It's getting to be embarrassing.
People are talking.
You dye your hair and you dye your eyebrows, but you just let your nose hairs and your and your goatee go. And when you have gray nose hairs and a gray goatee,
I've been nose waxing. I've been going to your nose
You
wax
have?
place. Yes. What do you can't tell?
no, I don't make a habit of looking up your nostrils.
Good, I'm glad.
I looked up your old address one time, but I didn't. But I've never looked up your nostrils. Why do you go more than? I mean, I go once every 3 months or
They
something.
call me. Don't they call you? It's been about a month since you've been in.
No.
Got to get on that frequent waxer program.
There's a punch card.
Have you had Jules do it?
No, because the first time I went to somebody else, and so now I'm on.
Well, see,
her.
I think Jules is kind of a hippie or something.
She's a free spirit.
She doesn't. She does. She said. I think she said one time she'd call me, and then she never does.
No, this girl's like, Valentine's Day is coming up. You might want to get your nose waxed before Valentine's, because that's what you do before.
See, you haven't noticed any hairs hanging out my nose.
Well, it's hard because you've got a mustache, so it's hard to tell where the nose hairs begin and the.
So until it becomes really obvious, I don't have anything. I don't have any need to do it.
What's gross is when it is really obvious, even when you have a mustache. That the nose hairs. Because I think some people think, well, I don't need to take care of that.
And it's usually just one rogue hair I'll notice. I'll go, wait a minute. Oh my God.
That's why I keep tweezers in the car. Best light. Best place to do that
in the car.
In the car with your visor down in the mirror. The light's great. You can get right up in there.
You might try concentrating on the driving
Well,
part
I'm
of
not
it.
doing it while I'm driving.
What do you?
If you see me in a parking lot, I'm probably plucking a hair out of somewhere.
I'd better pull over and pluck a hair out of something.
You've never looked in that mirror in the bright sunlight and gone, "Oh, I didn't know I had hair there."
Yeah, well, I have. But I can't.
Keep tweezers in your car.
But it's only when I'm standing on the seat. That's the only time I've ever noticed. It's when I'm standing on the seat and bending over to reach something. I didn't know I had hair there.
Wait a minute.
Somebody get me some tweezers and a long arm. So anyway, I guess we ought to start the show.
Thank you.
Ow! I don't tweeze the hairs in my nose because it brings a tear to my eye.
Oh.
Every time I do it, it's like you pull it and it doesn't it do that to you?
Sure.
Doesn't it make your eye go blink? And
That's how I can get away with seeing Chappie in the theaters, because the robot's going to die at some point.
Or text us at 33986. Message and data rates apply.
Remember that information for Boehner fight. It'll happen in just a bit. First, little bit of news.
Little bit of news brought to you by Utah Presents brings a brand new kind of songbook to Kingsbury Hall starring Stephen Page, former lead of Bare Naked Ladies, with Art of Time Ensemble, February 14th at Kingsbury Hall. Tickets at utahpresents.org.
Oh, I'm sorry. People who are wondering, we left them hanging. We did have a winner in our Park City Culinary Institute contest. Somebody won a $150 gift certificate. But people who didn't get a chance to play, they're wondering what the answer to the question was. Of course.
Yes.
So the question was, besides red wine, what is the main ingredient in beef bourguignon besides red wine? And so the answer, now a lot of people guess pearl onions. No, that's not it.
They're an
A
important,
lot of people.
They're
important part.
They are.
But
the answer is beef.
All right.
Beef.
The answer is always beef.
It's
For
beef.
me
It's
anyway.
what the answer is in beef bourguignon. So, by the way, we were talking about Charles Manson earlier.
Yes.
What finally sent Charles Manson to hell? What killed it? It was
pneumonia.
No.
Old age.
He died of acute cardiac arrest, respiratory failure, and complications from spreading. Yeah, metastatic colon cancer, according to his death certificate. So he was really sick.
I hope he was in pain.
Also worms were eating him. Worms were eating him from the inside out. John Morris has passed. I know. Tragedy, sadness. Everybody, for just a moment, stop.
John Morris.
91 years old.
91.
John Morris.
Why can't I place that?
Who wrote Springtime for Hitler and Germany, Winter for Poland and France. Springtime for Hitler, the famous bit from the Mel Brooks movie. He wrote that.
The producers.
And he wrote many other songs and music for Mel Brooks. He was he collaborated with Mel Brooks on all of his movies and did music for all of them.
So he may have done High Anxiety.
Oh, I'm sure
Probably
he did. Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, I'm looking
It's
right there.
always the same.
Yep, that's John Morris, 91 years old. Let's see. Donald Trump was on the show, on the TV show with what's his name?
Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan. Now, Piers Morgan was the winner of Celebrity Apprentice.
Well, my guess is he's going to give him a really in-depth,
Not so much.
hard-nosed,
Really?
feet to the fire kind of interview.
No, he doesn't do that to anybody. But President Trump seemed to be in a fog about the facts of climate change during his sit-down with Piers Morgan, which aired Sunday night, and I guess in Great Britain. Trump said in the ITV interview that the polar ice caps are supposed to be gone by now, but instead they're breaking records.
What does that mean?
Who knows? The ice caps were going to melt. They were going to be gone by now, but now they're setting records. They're at a record level.
Because, see, it used to be called global warming, and now they call it climate change because the ice caps didn't melt when they said they were going to melt.
He goes on to say, as for things getting too cold all over the place, well, there hasn't been a cooler than, he said, the polar ice cap, okay, here's what's going on. Ice on the ocean and on land are both disappearing rapidly, and we know why, but I don't.
It's word salad.
That's all he does.
He doesn't. It's
word salad.
It's the perfect example, or the perfect explanation of it was someone who I heard someone say, now just watch him. Oh, it was a guy who wrote the book, The Art of the Deal, with him. Well, not even with him.
Yeah,
the guy
wrote it.
The guy wrote The Art of the Deal.
Yeah,
I forget
he hung out with Trump for a very long time and then wrote the book.
He said he wants to have a bigger vocabulary, but he doesn't. So the reason he circles back on himself is he's searching for a better word in his mind, but a better word never comes
I
to
thought
him.
he had the best words.
The best words.
So the
Record-setting
they're setting
words.
records, the ice caps, and they're melting, and they're breaking records all over the place. He said you can just see him. He wants to be he wants to speak in a very highfalutin way, but he can't do it.
Wrong. Because he's a moron.
As I don't know if I said it on the air, but I was talking to some people the other day, and I don't care about this I care about the Russians meddling in our election. But I don't care, collusion, whatever. This is not the point anymore. The point is that we have a president who is a racist and an extreme sexist and a liar, and who likes to consort with porn stars while his wife is pregnant because, you can't have sex with them when they're like that. This is the president of the United States.
It's an embarrassment.
All of this Mueller stuff, it's more than an embarrassment. It's more than an embarrassment. It is absolutely against everything this country has stood for or claims to stand for, and yet people like Paul Ryan and the rest of those Republicans suck it up and go along.
I'll have you know that Obama moved the bust of Winston Churchill from the Oval Office.
That's right, he did.
Actually, he didn't, but
he
just moved it. He moved it from the Oval Office to another room.
But
he moved it.
Got rid of it.
And let's not forget, he doesn't like just yellow mustard, good old American yellow mustard. He has to have the fancy Grey Poupon mustard. So don't forget that. What about that?
Bruno Mars' real name? Peter Hernandez. Jay-Z's real name, anybody?
Carter.
Yes.
Very good. Sean Corey Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Gaga's real name?
Janelle?
No.
Janelle's her middle name.
No. Stephanie.
Joanne.
Stephanie Germanotta. Stephanie Germanotta.
Her middle name's Joanne.
Pink's real name?
Alicia.
Wow.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Look
at you.
Do you know why she's named Pink?
No.
Because she was told that she resembled Steve Buscemi's character, Mr. Pink, from the 1992
So someone
film
was being nice?
Reservoir Dogs. You look just like Steve Buscemi. I don't think so. Well, that's what somebody
she
said.
says?
That's where she got the name, and somebody said she looked like that, and she said, "Okay, I'll be Pink." And there are a couple of other people here I don't even know. Lil Uzi Vert?
No idea.
Yeah, who is that? So do you care what their real name is? Or SZA?
SZA.
I don't care.
No, people. She's huge. Tell people.
She is big
people
right
will
now.
care.
Solana Imani Rowe. So you can see why you'd want to go by
SZA.
She picked her name from the Supreme Alphabet. I don't know what that is.
What is the Supreme Alphabet?
S equals sovereign or savior, Z equals zigzag, and A equals Allah. I guess the Supreme Alphabet is a religious thing of some sort. All right.
Okay.
That's it.
Climate change report?
No, well, according to our president, everything's just fine.
Well, the ice caps are setting records.
Perfectly reasonable.
Setting records.
That in January it would, be 53 today and 57 tomorrow. That makes absolute perfect sense.
It's Boehner Fight.
Yes, it is.
With Radio from Hell on X96.
So here's the winner from round one going up against the winner from round two. The winner, round one, nobody flies for free. Say a woman who was traveling to see her dying mother, but she was kicked off of a flight because of a ticket mix-up. And she said, look, we can straighten this out, but I just want to get home. My mother is dying. I want to get there before she dies. She didn't make it because the airline had no heart. And Boehner candidate number two, this may be a mistake. A 4-year-old in Egypt sentenced to life in prison for murder. Now the Egyptian military says, I think maybe this was a mistake. I think it was an error. We didn't, it's somebody else, not this 4-year-old kid. That's number two.
There you go. You've got to decide which one of these is Boehner of the day. Which one is the worst, number one or number two? And you put that number of the candidate that you think should win in the message of a text. Text it to 33986. If you're desiring some human contact, Nick is taking the votes vocally at 877-602-9696. Or go to x96.com and look for the box that says Boehner Fight January 29 and vote there. But you better hurry. You've only got 4.5 minutes to do it. It's Boehner Fight. Who is Boehner of the Day? We'll find out after these.
X96 gives you a 1 hour.
I like your shirt, by the way. New shirt?
No.
What?
Old shirt.
You never wear it, though.
No, I don't.
Why not?
I don't know.
It's a nice shirt.
I don't wear it very often.
Well, you should.
Okay. Great.
I gave you a compliment.
Then maybe I will. I will wear it as often as I ever do, which is not often. It's a shirt that I bought. I remember exactly when I bought this shirt. It's when there was an Old Navy over here on 4th South.
Mm-hmm.
Over there
Where
on 4th
Trader
South.
Joe's is going to be.
Yeah. And there was an Old Navy there. And I went in there one day, and they had this big pile of shirts on the floor. I'm not kidding, as Old Navy does sometimes. And they said, all of the shirts in this pile are $1.20. I'm not kidding. $1.20. And I thought, this shirt being $1.20, that's a negative money.
Yeah. It costs more than that to...
Yeah, there's more material in this shirt. There's more little, Vietnamese or Singaporean child finger blood in this shirt from sewing the buttons on. And so I bought it for $1.20 off the floor at the Old Navy.
You would not think that.
It's not. It's just a dumb shirt.
You should have kept the receipt in the pocket. My sister bought a coat
But we
once.
never do a 120 time check, Gina. So
My sister bought a coat once that was on sale, and it ended up being $7, and she kept the receipt in the pocket so that anytime anybody said, I like that coat.
Her sister, Minnie Pearl.
No, Mikkel.
Just to
I
prove.
like that coat. She'd say, $7. No, it's not. I have the receipt. She kept it in the pocket.
Right there. Right
$7 coat.
That is the see again. That's the kind of thing that the Barbary girls are interested in.
$7? I don't believe that was $7.
But you could have a debate with some other people about the political situation in Tibet or the existence of God. But when you're debating with the Barbary girls, it's whether Bill Murray is going to go crashing parties and how much the coat cost. Is she the good-looking one?
They are all good-looking.
No, they are not.
They are. All of my sisters are good-looking.
Lolita!
Certainly not. All right, let's get this over with.
One is better looking than the others.
No, they are all good-looking.
It's that one that's really good-looking, and then there's
you guys do this?
there's an okay one, and
I
then
get
there's
phone
that other
calls
one.
every time you do this.
Which one is he talking about?
They know.
Yeah,
They know.
all. I'm surprised they call. All they have to do is look in the mirror.
Yeah,
All they have to do is look at a family photo, Gina. They'll all point to the good-looking one.
All the Barbary girls know. They know who the good-looking one is. It's true.
So we're not making these things up.
word Boner of the Day.
And the Boner of the Day is brought to you in part by, I really like that bacon, lettuce, and tomato salad that I made. Delicious.
I would just have a bacon salad.
Yeah.
I'd just have a sandwich.
And don't miss out on another spectacular season of the best attended college women's athletic program in the nation. University of Utah gymnastics team joined the 9,000 plus season ticket holders as the 2018 Utes gymnastic team fights for another season of excellence on the road to the NCAA championships. Visit UtahUtes.com for schedule and ticket information. And I believe we had a winner of some tickets to the meet on Saturday to play Washington at 1:30.
So we had Boner candidate number 1, Nobody Flies for Free. The woman who was traveling to see her dying mother, she was kicked off of the flight because there was some irregularity with her ticket. She said, let me fix it. I'll try to fix it. I just got to get home. My mother, I've been told she's dying, and I've got to want to see her before she dies. The airline said no. So this woman rented a car and drove 1,000 miles and didn't make it. Her mother passed before she got there. And Boner candidate number 2, well, this may be a mistake. This 4-year-old kid in Egypt sentenced to life in prison for murder. And the father said, look, he's a 4-year-old. This is a mistake. They still took him down to the police station, and they did finally sort it out. So the tickets to see the gymnasts, Sammy won those. And the winner, number 1, Nobody Flies for Free.
There you go.
Very few votes, though. It's very close.
That is the winner of Boner of the Day. It is now qualified for Boner of the Week. We'll do that on Friday at about this time.
So talking about the Grammys earlier, I found a list of artists that have never won a Grammy. And I will read you this list, and you will say at the end of it, that's why I hate the Grammys.
This is why I barely pay attention to them.
This is why the Grammys are bull ass.
Now, I haven't heard this list, but I know it's just I hate the Grammys.
So number 1, Guns N' Roses.
Never won a Grammy.
Never won a Grammy.
Yeah, well, I agree with that.
But
they could never get their S together.
That's not a you have your life together award.
All right.
It's a music award. Chuck Berry never won a Grammy.
Well, I heard somebody they were doing a Chuck Berry
They were doing a
song,
tribute, but he never won
and they were doing
a Grammy himself.
And they were also doing this White Rose trivia women's thing. And somebody said, "Yeah, great to do a tribute to Chuck Berry, who did time in prison for rape."
Yeah.
Thank you, Chuck Berry and Fats Domino, for all the music that you made possible.
So they did that last night, but he never won.
Yeah.
The Clash.
Never won a Grammy.
Never won a Grammy.
Yeah. I don't think they care, but
no,
I don't think they ever did care.
Depeche Mode never won a Grammy. Jimi Hendrix never won a Grammy.
Did they have the Grammys then? I think they did.
It's been around for 60 years. The Grammys. The Kinks never won a Grammy.
You know my feeling on that.
Led Zeppelin.
Well, we were going to get to it.
Now, they did give them a, lifetime, but when they were, most popular, no Grammy. Bob Marley never won.
Well, he might have won one. He just forgot.
Nicki Minaj. Bill, I know how you feel about Nicki Minaj.
You love Nicki Minaj.
I love the Nicki Minaj.
Morrissey. We opened the show this morning with How Soon Is Now.
Never won a Grammy.
Never won a Grammy.
Or the Smiths.
Biggie Smalls never won.
Out there.
That's a crime.
Exactly.
Oasis, they, as important as they think they are, never won a Grammy.
Yeah, whatever.
Katy Perry never won a Grammy.
Well, there's time.
How has Public Enemy
never
won
a Grammy?
Won a Grammy? Queen.
It's ridiculous.
The Ramones.
Ridiculous.
Ramones have never won a Grammy.
Now, some of these people have performed at the Grammys.
Diana Ross.
Never won a Grammy.
Never.
Not even with the
Either
Supremes?
as a solo artist or the Supremes.
Or a Supreme.
She didn't win. The
right?
Grammys is BS.
This is why it is.
They are it's BS. I never watch it.
Run DMC. Never.
Exactly.
Tupac.
Liberace ever win a Grammy?
Yeah, I think he did.
Oh, well, then I might go back.
The Who.
Who?
Never won a Grammy.
The Velvet Underground.
Jeez, on and on.
None of those people.
I mean, some of them I'm kind of not surprised. At the time they were popular, they were considered,
And Corey makes the final argument as to why the Grammys are bull. Milli Vanilli won a Grammy.
Best Artist of the Year.
So there you go.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't watch the Grammys. That's why I don't watch the Grammys.
I don't pay any attention to them.
Yeah.
I don't. It's just.
Isn't that crazy, though? None of those people.
It's not crazy because it's not really. None of it is real in the Grammys. It's not real.
But it's one of those arguments for how do you judge art? How can you say this is the best person at this art? Shouldn't all art be judged on its own? You shouldn't compare art. You shouldn't say this is better art than this art.
Well,
it's just all art.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who don't like the Academy Awards
but for the same
that reason.
Unless you have this role and you have 5 people play that exact same role, and then you say this person did it the best.
That would really be the way to do it. So that's how you should do the Grammys. They should have everybody do Purple Haze. Every artist perform Purple Haze,
and whoever does it the best.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Exactly.
It's how you judge art.
Like you shouldn't judge it. Like we're number 2.
Yeah.
How can you compare us to another radio show?
We may be number 2, but in my mind and heart, we're number 1, and that's where we're going to stay. We are the number. I don't care what the statistics say. Number 1. That's it. That's who we are. Right there, with that confidence, that's who we are.
Number 2.
Nope.
No.
Nope. I reject that.
All right.
We are not.
Let's see. We got more coming up. Stand by. We're going to tell you about Zero Fatalities.
ZeroFatalities.com. Join the resistance, as they say. And this is a movement that they will just make you so aware as they possibly can, of distracted driving.
Well, yeah, you sign up, you take the pledge to join the resistance. And what that means is you're going to think twice, hopefully, before you look at your phone or before, like Bill, you get distracted by the moon.
Yep.
Or no, Carrie was distracted by the moon, but Bill just gets distracted by his thoughts.
She's confused us today twice.
I'm distracted.
I wear the hat to differentiate myself.
I leave my hat at my desk.
And this is what happens.
Right. I know.
All right.
Maybe, if we both wore hats, she would not have any idea where she was. Right. Join the resistance. Go to ZeroFatalities.com. We're talking about texting, eating, drinking, talking to passengers, turning up the volume on all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Somebody's going to get killed, and we don't want it to be you or the person in the car next to you. ZeroFatalities.com.
Bill Allred, Gina Barberi, Radio from Hell on X96.
All right. Let's see here.
That video of the rat taking a shower, or it might have been not a rat, but a
wombat
taking a shower with soap and everything. Now, there are people now who are claiming that this is fake, that it was a robot, an animatronic rat.
We can't get a robot wet.
Yeah, they can.
See it again, Dylan.
X96.com/live.
Yeah, show us here.
Pierce Morgan, he says it's fake.
Well,
that's fake.
That just makes me believe that it's a real wombat.
Well,
after all,
I know because he was apparently talking to a robot of Donald Trump when
the one from Disney World.
So we don't have the video.
I don't think he can get it instantly. You should have.
He's scrambling.
He's trying to do it.
We didn't give him a heads up.
Did you see John Smith? Did you see the?
I have the story here.
The rat taking.
I have not seen this yet. No.
Okay.
Jose Correa, who claims he shot the video, said he was about to take a shower when he spotted the unusual sight on Saturday morning. He said he was just like a human. I haven't seen anything like it. Went on for about 30 seconds. Then he ran off, just was cleaning himself off, and then took off.
Rodent experts are saying that it's because the soap was irritating him and he was trying to get it off.
That could be.
That's what happens to me.
When you get it in your eyes?
I don't like soap.
Oh, you don't get it on you.
Soap irritates me.
Well, and you do look. There he is. See? So this is a rodent this was in Peru, and it looks like he's taking a shower. Now, so some people are saying it's a puppet or some kind of animatronic.
I can see why they'd say that because his feet don't move. But I've seen some pretty good animatronics in this.
No, that's real.
Look at the way he jockeys right there. You know, kind of bends over that way. That would be.
I don't think that's fake.
Taking a shower.
Well, now you want to see some.
But it keeps going back for more.
It could be that he's trying to get the soap off.
You want to see some bad animatronics.
What have you got that's bad animatronics?
I say fake.
I think it's real. A friend of mine sent this to me. You know the Little Mermaid show?
Yeah.
And they have an animatronic. What's the bad girl? The bad
Ursula.
Ursula. Yeah. So she's an octopus.
And she's
correct.
Most of that show is like puppets and stuff and live actors.
Oh, this is in Disneyland.
I think
this
it's
is the Broadway show.
No, this is there's an attraction in Florida.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's just a small show, and I think they do it in Disneyland.
They have a ride in Disneyland.
Okay, so it's not. It's just in Florida, and I saw this show when I was down there. But what happened was let me see if I can get this. I'm not sure if I can share this or not. The head of the robot fell completely off.
Oh no!
So the kids.
Although our kid's upset because she's a bad guy, so.
Well, that's not good.
I mean, it's just the wires. The wires are holding the head as it, is just dangling on her chest. It's
That's what you get for messing with King Triton and his ladies.
So yeah, the body's still performing, but the head is just.
No, she's a bad guy. I don't think the kids are upset if something happens to her.
That looks like the ride in Disneyland. That
you
looks
know
like,
what? That is the ride.
That looks like the ride.
That is the ride in Disneyland.
You've got Disneyland expert John Smith here.
That's true.
Right, because I've never been on that ride.
That's one of my favorite rides. That ride rules.
But when you go...
Not as good as Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
No. Few things are.
Nothing as good as Mr. Toad's.
But as far as the dark
only
rides
ride,
go...
It's the only ride that'll take you straight to hell.
Now, as the...
Guilty! That is all.
As the father of a Disney-centric daughter...
Right.
You have experienced this curse that I also experienced when I was in Disney World with my nieces.
Which is?
In that 4 days, I heard Let It Go.
Yeah.
And what was the other song? More times
than...
The
Moana song.
Yeah, more times than I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
And I was expressing this to Drew. I've never heard that song more times in my life than I have in these 4 days. He looked at me and just went, dude.
You have no idea.
That's not even.
Yeah, with me, it was Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, it's about the right time.
He says, you have no idea. It's every day.
Every day.
Every day. You got
Julie and Dylan, it was, I just can't wait to be king and Hakuna Matata.
Oh,
over and over.
Beauty and the Beast, the Tale as Old as Time song. I
Yeah,
heard that
that's-
more in that 4 days than I have in my entire life.
So we just jam out. We just put like when so we let her listen to music, and she chooses Disney music often. She does like other things. She loves Oingo Boingo. She loves the toy dolls. She loves.
How's she feel about B. Fernandez?
That's
That's Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
But yeah,
You know that in my house it's different.
Oh, he
though.
won. That's right.
In my house it's different. After the kids go to bed, it's A Whole New World from Aladdin that my
Yeah,
husband and I listen to alone in our bedroom.
With your magic carpet.
but I
Put on the turban, Joe.
The good news is I still don't know the words to these songs.
Yeah,
so that's good.
You just know the chorus.
I just know the chorus, and Drew was telling me I know all the words, and I'm like,
yeah.
Let's see. Tale as old as time, spitting dope ass rhymes. Beauty and the Beast. Is that?
That's not it.
That's
No.
not it.
No.
Okay.
You're throwing shade on
I
Angela
am.
Lansbury
I am.
now. It's them's fighting words.
All right.
Who was Ursula? Was that
was
anybody we know?
She was a Broadway actress, and she did some TV.
Disney doesn't use the big names like a lot of the other studios do. They will.
Well, Angela Lansbury's a pretty damn big name.
Well, but she had to audition for the role.
Who look up her?
I'll look it up.
It's someone you
because I
Pat Carroll.
Pat Carroll. Yeah,
I was gonna say,
I
if you saw her
recognize the
face.
voice. Yeah, and I know who that is.
And her face kind of looks like Ursula
Yeah.
a little bit. It's like they channeled her a bit. But anyway,
That was the last Disney movie to not use CGI in any form. Did you know?
was the last
one
traditionally
that was
animated.
completely hand drawn.
You know what I say to that? Huh.
That's one of those. That was a feature that we used to have. Things that make you go.
So even if you don't like
That's
the
right, I
show,
forgot.
at least you learned something today.
We're going to bring that feature back, I think.
Should we bring it back?
Things that make you go,
Huh.
huh.
All right.
Are we doing a promo here?
Yes.
Huh.
All right.
On Tuesday's Radio from Hell show.
Call in at 6:45 to participate in the X poll. We want you to answer this question: what food or restaurant do you love that doesn't exist anymore?
Also, tune in at 9 for Tuesday Tunes with Todd, your chance to win a $1,000 scholarship to the Park City Culinary Institute.
It's all on Tuesday's Radio from Hell show on X96.
Oh.
Consider yourself lucky. I had to endure Dumbo all day, every day for an entire summer once.
Baby mine.
The Dumbo soundtrack kicks ass. He gets loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets
does.
drunk.
Pink elephants on parade, man.
Yeah. Of course, it's not like the Heffalumps and Woozles with Pooh.
Oh,
A heffalump or
Yeah, see,
woozle is very confusing.
My kid loves Winnie the Pooh. So
You can't rhyme it, so you just have to make up a word like confusal.
And there's the new one that the whole soundtrack is done by Zooey Deschanel.
Oh.
And her voice just irritates.
You know
the
way too
righteous,
much about
ever-loving.
any of this.
Oh, well, I have
do?
to. I'm surrounded by it.
You know what? Oh, just quickly before we go, you know what I had on Saturday? I went up to Ogden to Ken Garf Honda to do a remote close to the Burger Bar.
Oh.
My son was with me, Lil Bill. I said, "You want a treat? You've never been to the Burger Bar. Here, take the car, drive up there while I'm at the remote here. Bring me back a Big Ben. You'll probably want a double cheese Ben and fries and get a shake or a malt. They're great." So I had a Big Ben.
Yeah.
It's better than I remember.
Really?
My God, that was good.
Do they still have the C-Ben?
The fries were great, and they do a exotic burger of the month apparently.
Like
And
with crazy meat.
This month it
Like
was
alligator
shark.
burger. Yeah.
This month it was a shark burger.
I won't have the shark burger. I'm afraid of sharks. I don't contribute to shark
That
charities.
Shark Tank show is terrible.
They have that "Come On Baby, Chive My Car." It's like a Bob's Burgers type of place.
No, it's nothing like that, John.
Sounds like that.
But thanks for trying to participate.
I'm saying.
You know what I say to that?
All right, so what do you got today? You don't know, do you?
Not a clue.
You haven't
It's
checked.
Monday.
All right. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
I'm strictly a two pumps and release.
That's exactly right.
Ooh, wing ding.
John Smith is next.
Please keep listening.
A 1-hour nonstop music wingding starts now. Utah's original alternative, X96.